what's up, everybody? Hope all is well. Welcome to How to Set Your Business Up for Success in 2023 and Beyond. This is being presented by XPMentor. Click the link at the top, learn more about us. And today we're going to be getting into how to set yourself up for business success in 2023. We're going to have a bunch of panelists that are going to be dropping gems. It's going to be a really informative room, a lot of tangible steps, and a lot of tangible advice. If you have questions, go ahead and throw them in the chat. And we're going to go ahead and get into it. We got 200 people approaching into this room. So we'd love for you to just continue to share this space. Click that little box sign with the arrows pointing up. Invite people into the room. Ping people into this room that could use that motivation, some of that inspiration, some of that guidance for their business. And we're going to get started and kicked off. So my name is Jarrett Albritton. I am a leader in the Startup Club, and thank you to Startup Club for letting us host this space within the club. And we're also live streaming this on YouTube, Facebook, and a myriad of other social channels. So with that being said, I'm going to pass the mic to Jay Noland to introduce himself, and we're going to get into this. So Jay, go ahead.
I just want to make sure you can hear me okay. Can you hear me okay?
Jay, if you're speaking, you're on mute on Clubhouse.
All right. Try one more time.
All right. Can you hear me okay, Jarrett?
Yeah, yes, we can.
All right. We're going to be working through our producer today, Mr. Kirk Nugent. So I'll be showing as muted on this particular link. And then, so you'll be able to hear me, but we're streaming right now live. So this is incredible what we're doing now. We're going live across Facebook. We're going live across YouTube. We're going live across Twitter. So it's multi-streaming right now. So we're doing a full production today. So we want to welcome everybody. As you can see here, you're in the Startup Club, Jarrett Albritton, which is one of the most important people, I believe, in tech and on Clubhouse right now. So I want to make sure everybody can hear me because I've got some folks coming in over on our social medias. And then can they hear me? All right, here we go. Here we go. Check over on our social media channels.
Yeah, they can.
Y'all give me some yes. Y'all can hear me over there. Yes. All right. This is beautiful. All right, we got everybody. Jarrett, we got our incredible Dr. Forbes Riley. It's going to be a powerhouse room today because we're going to be talking about how do you really set yourself up for success in 2023. So in order to set yourself up for success in 2023, you're going to want to make sure that you're doing what you need to do now. And so we'll be bringing you that heat. I want to make sure we get our link here at the top so you can see that this is brought to you by XPMentor.com, which is our powerhouse platform that's changing lives. You can see I've got Dr. Forbes Riley here right now. We've already got quite a few people in the room, but I'm excited about what we're going to be sharing about today. And I love the fact that we're utilizing the power of technology. I want to first really focus on Jarrett Albritton and what he's doing in technology. And he's actually in one of our studios recording right now an important course that people are going to be able to have access to. What's going on with Web 3.0, what's going on with the metaverse, what's going on with NFTs, cryptos, all these things. I believe, Jarrett, people are going to need to be aware of these things because I believe every one of those areas are going to impact us, especially going into 2023. So, Jarrett, really to kind of kick the room off, I think it's important that you maybe tap into that before we go to our incredible co-host, Dr. Forbes Riley, who is an absolute beast and just an incredible role model for so many people across. But before I introduce her, Jarrett, let's talk about what you're doing now in the studios. What are you feeling about XPMentor? We're just so thankful about the Startup Club for allowing us to feature what we're doing here. Jarrett, over to you.
Yeah, no doubt. XPMentor.com. Really excited about kicking this off with Jay and Dr. Forbes Riley, Scott, Lena, and everybody else that's a part of this, all the mentors. Check out the link at the top to learn more about the mentors that'll be a part of it. And I'm really excited to be contributing in terms of talking about the metaverse, Web 3.0, crypto, and the NFT space. So I've been in the tech space for over 15 years. And for me, being ahead of innovation, understanding where technology is going is super important, not only for me, but for people that are usually the last wants to know, or are the ones being replaced by technology? And when it comes to Web 3.0, what's really exciting is the fact that there is no barrier to entry as there was during the Industrial Revolution, during the gold rush, et cetera, where you needed certain equipment or you needed certain privilege to be able to access these innovations that ended up making millionaires and billionaires from regular people. And so with this technology, I believe that your business can become have exponentially more reach, more impact, if you can be the innovator in the space, the leader in the space, take a service that you're extremely successful at in the real world or in the internet as it is right now. And if you can apply it to Web 3.0, you're going to be in a super amazing position to reach customers around the world, as well as enhance the connection that you have with your customers that you currently have. So yeah, when it comes to the metaverse, what I'll be talking about on XP Mentor is talking about the different areas to enter into the metaverse, whether it's Meta, Somnium Space, Decentraland, Cryptovoxels, what makes them different, which ones need certain technology in terms of headsets, which ones don't, which ones have tokens that you can purchase that will appreciate over time, what are the environments where you can buy real estate in high traffic areas so that your business, your service can be seen by the most people. And more importantly, because you're in proximity to high traffic, your real estate will become more valuable over time. Talking about how you can take advantage of the blockchain and NFTs, which is going to give you more ownership over your assets so that as it resold over time, you'll have a royalty contract associated to it. So every time somebody sells that NFT, you're getting a profit from it, versus when you get something resold in the past, you're only getting that one sales transaction. You're not benefiting from the second, third, the fourth, and the fifth, and how that works and how your business can use NFTs, not only for art, but also for real estate, for services, for ebooks, for all kinds of different things. So I do rooms in the Startup Club every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time called Web 3.0, Metaverse, Crypto, and NFT News, where we break down those type of topics. So if you follow me on Clubhouse and click the replays in the future, you can hear more about the current events. But within XP Mentor, I'm going to be doing every month a 10, 15-minute breakdown of different topics within my course, and the course will be 4 to 5 hours, and I'm really excited about it. I'm down here in Hampton, Virginia, in front of a white screen, recording it right now. And I'm also excited to see and hear what Dr. Forbes Riley is going to be doing in XP Mentor, because her resume speaks for itself. Check out her bio and just read it, just for a little bit of a sneak peek into what she does. But Dr. Forbes Riley, I'd love to pass it to you to introduce yourself, and you can talk about what you're going to be contributing, and then also you can get the conversation kicked off about how to set yourself up for success in 2023. And as we popcorn around, I'll start talking a little bit about NFTs, crypto throughout the room. But I just want to give a quick introduction and pass the mic to Dr. Forbes. So over to you. And if you're speaking, Dr. Forbes, you're on mute.
You're on mute. Come off of mute. Dr. Forbes Riley, the QVC queen. So maybe she'll be bouncing right back here. We'll make sure to get a message over to her and let her know we are going live. She is here. She's always busy. She's got a big event that she has coming up over in the Tampa St. Pete area. But Jarrett, I love what you shared about making this easy to digest, because going into 2023, everyone has to understand this is non-negotiable. Web 3.0 is coming. The metaverse is coming. If it's not already here, how do you capitalize on that? How do you utilize that as an entrepreneur to be able to impact your business? And so if you're down in the audience, raise your hand. We're going to be bringing folks up. We want you to contribute. We want you to be a part of this conversation. We want to be able to spark a ton of ideas and inspiration. You know, one thing that's happening on the Clubhouse app, for those of you that are listening to the live stream, Clubhouse is explosive. Right now, we have a book coming out. Excuse me. We have a book coming out in the next couple of weeks. It's called The Power of Social Audio. And what's happened, you know, how did Clubhouse go from obscurity? Nobody knew anything about it early 2020. And then all of a sudden the pandemic hits. And the next thing you know, it goes from 20,000 users, jumps up to 100,000 users. And just like that, went to over 1 million users. And check this out. Right now, there's over 10 million users on Clubhouse. And I think it's received about a $4 billion valuation, even though it hadn't even done actual revenue as this model yet. So what's the power of that? How did that spark off Twitter Spaces? How did that spark off Facebook to come out? How did that spark off Reddit to come out with the power of social audio? So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be literally teaching myself, Jarrett, other XP mentors. You see Dr. Forbes Riley here. I've got my man Scott Harris up here, Josh Payne. I see my wife, Lena Noland is here. But we're going to be teaching people exactly how to do it and having an expert like a Jarrett Albritton, someone that came on here and helped build out a club. So if you're over on Clubhouse, I want to make sure you go up and click on that link at the top where it says Startup Club. And for those of you that are on the streaming platforms, make sure you go look up XP Mentor, our particular club, but also look up the startup clubs because we got collaborations going on inside the startup club. There's 883,000 members. And Jarrett, I mean, what period of time has that 883,000 members come on to the platform, Jarrett?
Yeah, so I think the club launched early 2021. So it's been, I suppose, a little less than 2 years. And, I think the key is consistency. How to set yourself up for success in any business that you do is consistency. Not only consistency, though, but a focus in terms of like, what is the value and what is your niche? There's riches and niches, right? So like, what is your niche and who are you focusing on? The Startup Club, the name is pretty straightforward, right? This is a club for startup founders, for startup entrepreneurs, for those interested in investing in startups and all things that help startups be successful. And that's, where I come from, the startup space. I sold enterprise software for startups for over a decade, helping them go from, infancy to IPOs and acquisitions. So for me, it was a perfect alignment of like, okay, I have a skill set when it comes to sales and growing a startup, figuring out their strategy in terms of like, all right, what is the value that we bring to the marketplace? Who are the stakeholders that get this value? And how can we take our software and our services to help these businesses grow and then in turn help our business grow? And so bringing in people like me and other people within the startup space, whether they're venture capitalists, angel investors, entrepreneurs, and the folks that support them, doing constant content within this platform, focus on startups and really building a community. And then also recognizing who are the stars that are coming on these stages. So for instance, I'm on this stage and I've never met Kiki Seward. This is my first time meeting her, right? But once Kiki speaks and I understand like, okay, she's the self-love queen, 30-day confidence activator for womenpreneurs, I'm gonna hear what she says and I'll be like, okay, there's an opportunity for me and Kiki to collaborate in women in business, or there's, we could do a startup, startup advice for women and bring her in. So it's, for me, what's helped us grow this club, what's helped me grow on Clubhouse, and what's going to help us grow with XP Mentor and any business that I've done or any business I'll do moving forward is identifying where there's aligned value and collaborating where I can bring my audience to Kiki, people, the women that follow me can really resonate with her in a way that they don't resonate with me. But because I bring her to the table, I'm resonating with them even more because I'm introducing them to a new person that can add value to them. And then vice versa. Kiki has an audience that's probably never heard about me, but might be interested in tech, might be interested in Web 3.0, the NFTs or crypto. And now I can introduce that audience to that value. And that also enhances her value. So the Startup Club has been really smart about doing that. And Jay, I got to commend you in terms of what you've done on Clubhouse and then what you're doing with XP Mentor. The fact that you're getting somebody from every single industry and, people that can bring value in multiple different areas. And we can have our audiences all benefit from each other as well as benefit from from the person that brought them in. And I think that's why XP Mentor is going to be exceptionally valuable, and it's going to grow equally as fast as the Startup Club did. Not only what we do on Clubhouse and YouTube and Facebook with the multi-streaming, but more importantly, what we do within the website and constantly adding new courses, adding new education, and adding new value within it. So that's been the experience with the Startup Club. That's been my experience with Clubhouses. Collaboration, identifying where value is, reciprocal, where we can benefit each other's audiences, and then being consistent in doing so. So yeah, I'm excited for XP Mentor to be part of Startup Club as well, because we're going to bring our audience to the Startup Club. And then if you go to the greenhouse fall, the Startup Club, and you check out the carousel of rooms coming up, you check out the replays, I think everybody in this room can get value from some of the topics that are happening here and apply them to your business. I'll pass it back to you, Jay.
I appreciate that. See, guys, that's dope information. Let's talk about the power of social audio and what you're seeing here. So I'm streaming here, and you can see us over on Facebook. You can see us over on our YouTube channel. You can see it. Look over on my Twitter feed, and we're doing testing today, and we're going to ramp this up because we have an entire media production crew. But I'm going to show you the power of this. We've been in this room 17 minutes, and there's already over 500 people. So at the time I'm saying this, 503 people have already participated, been in this room in 17 minutes. Now think about you getting your message out there that fast. Now, what I love about what we're doing with XP Mentor is we're providing mentorship. And we're going to start rocking and rolling on the audience on the stage here, but we're providing mentorship. As you can see in between Jarrett and I, is Dr. Forbes Riley. She is a pitch master, which means how do you present what you want to sell, what you want to share, what's your idea? So if you're selling some product or service, she's a master at that. So why not be able to tap into her in one location? But I want you to understand that while she's teaching, she's also talent scouting. So everybody that's a part of our XP Mentor staff, if you click on the link there at the top, or if you're watching in the stream, it's xpmentor.com. xpmentor.com. If you scroll down, you will see the lineup there. So I'll go down and I'll kind of scroll down and give you an idea. And then I want to be able to get the input for what you guys feel that are on the stage. But before I do that, let me show you how we rock and roll in setting up for success in 2023 and beyond. This is how you become successful. I've been an entrepreneur for almost 27 years. We've scaled all over the earth. I think we've done business in like 90 countries between me and my companies, either I own or co-own. I put my feet on the ground in 20 plus countries and done large seminars. Multi-languages. I can remember over in Salzburg, Austria, that I did a particular conference there. There was 13 different languages there. So I'm telling you this because that's the experience of being able to build tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands and then millions of team members globally between people that are sales distributors, people that are customers around the earth. And the one key factor I found in the people that are going to become successful is this. In order to take withdrawals out. So if you say, I want something going into 2023, how many of you over in the chat, if you're on the stream live, put over in the chat, how many of you 2023 say, I want this to be an absolutely powerhouse year? How many of you feel like that? If you're over in Clubhouse in the chat, if wherever you're at on the streaming, just say, I want 2023 to be a powerhouse year. Okay, let's make the deposits in 2022 that gives us momentum. See, we're in the fourth quarter of 2022. We're about to hit the fourth quarter of 2022. Let's get the momentum. There's three phases of momentum. It's create momentum, maintain momentum, and explosive growth. Let's get the momentum properly created. Here's how you get it created. You've got to make deposits. So when you listen to this information, we're not charging you anything for these tips that you're about to get today, this training information. We're going to ask you for one thing: share. So what we want to do, if you're on Clubhouse, hit that share button here. Down at the bottom, next to where you see there's a little square with an arrow up. Everybody in the room, if you want to ask success to give you what you want going into 2023, then go down and hit the share button. And first of all, share it into Clubhouse. There's 4 different options there. Share on Clubhouse. Everybody share it on Clubhouse. That's going to tell the algorithm this is the #1 room for entrepreneurship. That's going to tell them right now it's happening. And now if you're on watching this on streaming, share this with some of your friends. Share this on your social media and watch what happens as you begin to share. You're putting what's called the law of attraction into play here, because you're giving, you're coming from the right area. Now all of a sudden you're now more conducive. It's nothing more than energy out there. So everybody look at the shares that are popping. Look at the shares that are popping, Jarrett. I love this. And in the comments, make sure that you're interactive. When you hear something that hits you, type it over in the comments that you say, hey, that point hit me. Because what you're doing is you're putting the energy out that this is what I want to come back to me. So I love this point. I love us getting started. I got a message from Dr. Forbes Riley on the back channel. She said she's finishing up a call. She's going to let us know when she can get back in. She's got a major project, but she will be back. But I'd like to kind of get the stage open up just a little bit. I see my brother Rex Sykes in here. If y'all don't know who Rex Sykes is, you got to know who he is. He's like one of the great-great-grandfathers of the law of attraction, manifestation. If you know anything about NLP, have you heard about neuro-linguistic programming? Well, he's a master at this. Over 40 years, he's been teaching this. Rex, can you flash your mic if you could talk real quick, sir? Because I want to make sure everybody, there we go. So Rex, how do you feel about how to set your business up for success going into 2023 and beyond? We love to get one of the masters of personal growth and business and entrepreneurship. We'd like to get your intake. Come on, Rex, what you got?
Can you hear me, Jay? I'm driving. It says I have a poor connection. I'm going through an area that.
Yeah, if you just talk loud, we'll be able to get you. But we can hear you pretty good right now, Rex. Go ahead and share.
Oh, fantastic! So I hope that remains the case. If I drop out, I'll come back. But I have a pet saying of mine that I have applied to my life ever since I was younger, that I think applies to everybody, and that is he or she who waits. And that's based on the law of attraction. Because if you're not actively giving, as Jay just mentioned, if you're not actively doing or deciding or making something occur for yourself or for others, then what's the alternative? If you're waiting, and if you're waiting and you're putting waiting out into the universe, what do you get back? You put out waiting. If you put wanting into the universe, you get wanting back. In order for you to get back what you put out, you got to put out what you want back. Another one of my sayings is, if you throw out a boomerang, you get a boomerang back. You don't get a teacup. So you got to understand that if you want your business to skyrocket or to be better in 2023 than it is in 2022, you need to do something now in 2022 in order to make 2023 even viable. Our thoughts have led us to where we are. So everything you thought in the past brought you to where you are today, even into this room. So that's a good thing. But your thoughts today will determine where you go tomorrow and where you'll be in 2023. So it's important to manage your thinking and take the action. People say the secret to Napoleon Hill or the law of attraction is action. I say it's BS, because action is the natural, obvious follow-through for something you do. If you go, I'm thirsty, you get up and get a drink of water, you ask somebody to bring it to you. You don't just sit there and go, I thirst, because you create more thirst. You have to do something. So doing something is so obvious it shouldn't ever be said. And sadly, it has to be said, because he or she who waits. Now, the other thing you can do is you get into a room like this, you get around people who are mentors, people who know or who have done it, who have come from where you are. They come from nothing. If you've come from nothing and they've managed to make a business, or they've scaled a business, or they've done something to add to the value of themselves, their family, their friends, and the world, those are the people you want to learn from. So if you find yourself in this room, it's no accident. But if you're in this room, then act on what you learn. Don't just wait. Don't just sit on it. Leaders and the people who are powerful, as Napoleon Hill would say, they make quick decisions on accurate information. In other words, they do the legwork to make sure they're making an accurate information, and then they make a quick decision, which they are then slow to change. So you act fast, you make a good informed decision, and then you stick with it, you commit, you persist until you make happen what you intend to make happen. So 2023 can be remarkably better for you a few months from now if you begin today. And if you haven't begun today, what are you waiting for? And with that, I'll pass the mic. And thank you so much, Jay. And thank you for all the wonderful people who are here.
And I really appreciate that. I want y'all to know on the live stream, you know, our producer here, you hear me talking here up top, but right next to me is our producer for today, Mr. Kirk Nugent. He's a phenomenal part of our team, does an excellent job. For those of you that are seeing us streaming, we have literally got a world-class team that myself and people like Jarrett Albritton has helped us put together. So I'm so proud of the team. So this is Jay Noland talking, but I'm coming through osmosis through my man Kirk Nugent today up through Clubhouse. So we got the shares rocking, guys. I want to love just hearing you. But every time you speak, by the way, we're putting you up. By the way, this is important. I see my sister Elisa Jacobs just came up into the room. Let's get her up here right away. I know my man Jarrett's watching this too, because Elisa's got an exciting powerhouse project that they are launching that we are supporting. But listen, every time you guys talk, we're putting you up on the stream so people can see your handle, and they'll be able to reach out to you. They will be able to connect with you. So this is an opportunity for you to speak. So guys, don't be shy in speaking when you come up here, because it's just powerful. Well, let's check and see if our sister Elisa Jacobs, she can talk. I know her schedule's jam-packed. Elisa, flash your mic if you're able to speak. Let's see here. All right, there we go. Elisa, do you want to let us warm it up a little bit, or do you want to kind of dive straight into this topic? Because Jarrett set this thing up where we talked about with XPMentor, our platform, how we're going to be teaching from multiple areas. And one of the core areas that Jarrett's going to be teaching from is Web 3.0, the metaverse, NFTs, crypto. And I know that you got a beast project that you're already rocking and rolling out. So we love to have you chime in. You let us know how your schedule looks. And we just want to hear from her. This is Elisa Jacobs. She's a major influencer on Clubhouse. If you look and see, click on her bio on Clubhouse, you can see she has over 100,000 followers. Why? Because she is a master at business entrepreneurship, and she's a master at making people feel motivated and appreciated and loved. You ought to hear from her staff. But Elisa, over to you. We'd love for you to share.
Thank you so much for that introduction. Ooh, let me not pretend that I am taking a break.
No, that was me. That was me, sis. That was me. You're all good.
I thought I was in the metaverse all of a sudden.
Well, you know, we're doing a full production. I'm streaming over on Twitter, on Facebook, all at the same time. So, you know, sometimes you hit the wrong button. So over to you, sis.
I love it. That's how you know it's authentic and cross-platform. I am actually analog or bootleg cross-platform as well, because I am quite literally stepping away from a Zoom about the project because I had to come say hi, and I will stick around and pop back on later when I have more time because I wanted to listen in. But just really impressed with what you guys are doing. And, you know, when we talk about setting up business for success 2023 and beyond, you have to be everywhere. You have to be omnipresent. You have to be ubiquitous. You have to be accessible. You have to be inclusive. And you cannot do that in one sphere. And so I truly believe that gone are the days of the linear approach to business and the linear approach to brand building, which is, you know, you have to start in one ecosystem and stay there and build there and then move into another. I think that we are really in a world where in Web3, when you talk about NFTs and projects that live and are built there natively, that can be retail, that can be film and television, that can be gaming, that can be product, that can be anything that we experience on and offline. Likewise, the things that people are building, whether it's ed tech or products, whether it's sneakers or experiences, can and should have utility that goes Web 2 and Web 3, because it's beyond social media. It really is cultural and community media. And when we think about how we interact, it's together now. And it's really cool because, you know, when we thought about brands and business many moons ago, which in this vortex of time could mean anything from 6 months to 60 years. It was like you had these corporations and conglomerates and often oligopolies, or at least sometimes even monopolies, in categories where it was the ivory tower or the suits, one too many, telling us what to buy, telling us what was cool, spending millions of dollars on advertising. I grew up in a household where my parents used to mute the advertisements, mute commercials, because they didn't want to be sold to. And I went into advertising and marketing because I was fascinated by what the messaging and marketing was. So when we moved past that sort of analog version of business, right, we saw the influx of the internet and websites and e-commerce, and then social media and influencer marketing, and all of these ways that through a community perspective, it was still kind of the leader to the fan base, right? So fandom leverage. And then we're in this world with Web3 where anyone can be the leader. Everyone is the leader. You're incentivized for integrity because everyone wins together. All ships rise with the tide. So for the first time in history, you can actually make money more together than apart. And so collaboration over isolation or competition is more effective. It is more efficient. And I think it's a beautiful thing. And it's not always with the best of intentions. I think it's often with the best of intentions, and this idea of wag me and we're all gonna make it and we're in it together. But regardless of why someone's there, we do better together. And the project I've been working on that actually just went live for enrollments is called Uppercut. Uppercut is with Jump Cut Media. It is backed by WME and Atomic Ventures, as well as A-Rod. And then there's this incredible piece to it where it allows these gamified NFTs to unlock story world with the writers of Mortal Kombat and John Wick and the Marvel universe. And you get to experience on and offline martial arts and domos and senseis. But the retroactive pricing model basically allows you to sign up with no barrier to entry and decide what the value is to you. So I'm really excited about it. I'm really appreciative for the space to even talk about it or to participate in it. And if you guys are interested, check out at Uppercut NFT on Twitter or uppercuttrainingclub.com, and it's free to enroll. But I'd love to hear more from you guys.
AJ, you there? I think you need to speak through Kirk. Test,
All right,
test,
my
one,
bad,
two.
my bad.
I am.
I gotta make sure I
Can you still hear me?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound good now.
Yes, all you.
All right, I appreciate it. Listen, this is awesome because y'all see this is live because we got multi-streaming going. So I'm doing different things over on the Clubhouse app while I'm talking to the streaming platform. But at least I want to make sure up at the top, do we have the correct link there for the Twitter link for the Uppercut Training Club? Is that correct? Want to verify that with you, Elisa? Can you see that? She might take a call like that quick, but I'm pretty sure.
At least if you're speaking, you're on mute.
Yeah, we both went on mute. All right, she'll be right back.
Jay, that's the right link. So if you click the link at the top, that's a Twitter page. So definitely follow them on Twitter so you can get real-time updates. And then the link that's in the Twitter bio is the link to the project. And yeah, if you scroll down the feed, you can get access to the Discord, get access to just all the up-to-date information. And there's also replays of her and Tiffany Haddish talking about the project. And yeah, it's definitely dope. If you're new to the NFT space, the Uppercut NFT project is a great way to ease your way into the space, understand, the community and the utility. And I do believe it's going to be a good investment. So shout out to Lisa for everything that she's doing on and off Clubhouse, on and off Twitter, on and off the NFT space. And yeah, really appreciate you for being here. So everybody check out the link up top and get into it. All right, back to you, Jay.
We love it. We've got Dr. J, Jarrett Albritton chiming in. If he gives a stamp on it, and he's going to be teaching, so it's off the chart. So make sure y'all click on the link. I would love for everyone, because we really are supporting what they're doing with XPMentor. I would love for every person, listen, go follow them on Twitter, because you're going to be able to get insights. Like if you hear about how NFTs are taking off, hardly anybody understands the space, but we know it's powerful. We know it's powerful, but hardly anybody understands the space. That's why when we're bringing these experts in, like Jarrett Albritton, and also we connect with one of our powerhouse connections, like Elisa Jacobs, who is thick in Hollywood, and they're going to be doing some powerful stuff with movies. So it's not only what's happening with Web 3.0, but it's kind of like Hollywood to the next level. I don't know if it's 2.0, 3.0, or whatever, but this is unbelievable. Listen, I've got my sister back, Dr. Forbes Riley. Doc, can you please? Okay, now y'all better put your seatbelts on.
Wait, before we do this, did I miss something? Was there like a Web 3.0 transplant that your voice is coming out of Kirk's face?
That's it. We're streaming Forbes through multiple platforms, and Kirk Nugent's our producer today. So while we're talking, he's got us streaming to Facebook, to Twitter, to YouTube. And so we're doing like a little metamorphosis today as we're talking, because I know she's kind of like, what is that, Jay? Talking through Kirk?
Okay, well, I just got to tell you, I had a moment of going, I don't know how he's doing this, but it's interesting because I would like to duplicate me too.
That's how we do it. When we're talking about the power of getting ready for 2023, and we just had Elisa Jacobs. She had a bounce. She's going to bounce in and out. She's in projects right now. She's actually one of the core investors is Alex Rodriguez, my old roommate with the Seattle Mariners, which they're going in and out of projects today. So we'll be getting more in that. She'll pop back in the room. But we'd like to talk real quick, Forbes Riley, about your background a little bit, because most people know you, but there are new people who don't know you. And just give them a quick little backdrop, because what we want to do through XPMentor is prepare people properly for business going into 2023, which involves what they do now. And I know you got special stuff that you're doing now to equip people so they have momentum this year to finish it off in the fourth quarter and going into 2023. Please, Forbes, you have the stage. Let's rock this thing, get people understanding how to get into momentum. Over to you, Dr. Forbes Riley.
All right. So momentum is multifaceted. Here's my first thought. I'm a little bit older. By a little bit older, let's see, my daughter's 19. So if you're over 21, you're a little bit older. I'm 62. I know I don't look it. Love that. And that's really important for you guys to think about for a second. So for me, I don't know how much metaverse and NFT I'm doing. I get it, but I'm going to double down on humanity, because here's what I do know. As someone who's in the National Fitness Hall of Fame, who was overweight growing up, who fought my body image my entire life, finally figured it out, and has been living my best life, but it took me too long to figure it out. Let that resonate in your ears. Don't let it take too long to figure it out. So I am personally doubling down on humanity, because when you take the Oculus off, you leave the computer or the device, you have to be a human. And so for as long as I'm on this planet, I'm going to fight for the humans. What does that mean? What do you put in? I've noticed I really haven't eaten today because I've been in meetings all day. That's not healthy. That landed me in the hospital at some point. Don't do that. So you're getting ready for 2023. Before I hear the New Year's resolution on January 2nd, could you start today? And say, right, how does this being, this bag of bones that I've got carrying around underneath my computer and my screen, what does it need? It needs a couple of things. It needs to be loved by you, not necessarily somebody else, but it needs to be loved. Stop saying how much. So I'm all about the psychology. Let's leave your past in the past. We don't care the first grade bully, the teacher said you were not going to be successful, or your mom or dad did whatever they did to you. At this age, I've created techniques to let go of trauma. I did this the other day in a room, Jay. It's mind-blowing, because you cannot move forward. You can't move into your new house with a truckload of crap from the old house. But we don't think about that for our bodies. So one, I'm talking about cleaning out your mind, the way you wake up, the habits that you create. Two, the quality of the food that you put in your body. Really important. What do you drink? You know, Jay and I, we've got a coffee and a tea that's much healthier with mushrooms than the stuff that you get at Starbucks. But you're not thinking about that. If you're a Diet Coke cigaretteholic, I don't care how much NFT you're doing, you will end at some point, okay? So one, let's double down on you as a functioning, successful, amazing human being. Number two, what kind of relationships do you have in your life? Do you even have skills to have functioning relationships? I don't think I had growing up. My mom liked to stay in the house. We were very isolated. We didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't have a lot of friends. It's taken me a lifetime to figure out how to be of service to friendships. I know how to do accomplishments. I know how to make money. Man, I've grossed $2.5 billion in my career. But at some point, if all the parts of your life don't work, your life just doesn't work. And so you're going to hear a lot of experts on here. And I think it's important for all of us to find our zone of genius and our expertise. I am doing an event next week that Jay has been very gracious to sponsor somebody to be part of. I love you, ma'am. Thank you. Where we take people through a thing called Forbes Factor. I personally discovered the power of personal development. I remember bumping into Tony Robbins when I was
Forbes, you
really
kind of
young.
mute.
And listening
Forbes,
to
you
what.
kind of going into a zone. You kind of go into a zone.
Oh, okay. Am I any better? I didn't move at all.
Perfect. Now you're
Yes,
perfect.
yes. Okay.
Perfect.
So I remember meeting Tony Robbins many years ago. And if you pick up his book, there's something really fascinating. Number one, the book has got 500 pages to it. I don't know if you've tried to write a book lately. They're not that easy to do. And even in his book, way back when, there are chapters on health, diet, nutrition. You're like, dude, you're a personal development guy. But that is what he understood to be true. And I know it's been his path. It's certainly been mine. Hanging out with people like Jack LaLanne, who at 96 was still going strong. His wife is in her late 90s now, going strong. Double down. I don't care what year we're going into. Don't wait till January to decide that you matter. And so, yes, if you want to put up a quick little link, you guys, I have some virtual seats to an event that I'm doing. I only do 1 or 2 of these a year. It's called Forbes Factor Live Training. I think of Forbes Factor. It's where you are now, looking at where you want to be, and all the stuff in between is that Forbes Factor. And it is about your mental, your physical, your connections here, your business, all of those things tie together. And when I look at my partner and I look at Jay, why am I in business with him? Because he fires on all those cylinders. If you talk to this man, brilliant business, that goes without saying. But I look how he treats his wife, how he treats his son. His son's come to every business meeting that we've been to, and he's a little kid. You know, I did that with my children. I don't know many executives who ever bring their kids. Jay could easily say, Lena, why don't you stay home with the kid? Why don't you have a nanny so you could come with me? But he doesn't do that. And so that personal life, the things that you don't really see behind the scenes. I love to have a meal with somebody. I like to see what they order, what they're thinking about, how they stress when the waiter's late. You know, I have an ex who would yell at the waiter, and I'm like, don't do that. The guy's working as hard as he can, or not, but don't be self-righteous. And so you look for clues in people who want to be around you. And for me, you can't drive a car that's only operating on half the amount of cylinders. I don't know much about cars, but I'm assuming it works that way. Or you don't put oil in it. You don't take care of it. You don't maintain it. Never get into somebody's car and there's junk everywhere. I can't do business with you. So for me, Forbes, Forbes, I'll give you the top 3 letters because I do have a book coming out at some point in 2023. For me, F is foundation. I look at what do you want to do? Why do you want to do it? What's keeping you from doing it? How do you celebrate it? Whoa, wait a second, Forbes. You do what? Every project I've ever done, I put through this little system. What do I want? I wanted to go to Greece. Well, for 2 years, the world wouldn't let me leave this country or go to Greece. I kept saying to my daughter, we're going. This summer, we spent 4 weeks, 6,000 photos of us in Greece together. Doesn't even move my business forward, or does it? I got some killer photos. But I also deepened a relationship with the one person on the planet who thinks that the world begins and ends with her mom. Why is that important? Because at the end of your life, what is important? The O stands for organization. 5 pillars of that. Organization in your head, in your home, in your computer. If I came to you right now, what does your desktop look like? What does your Google Drive look like? Can you find the information that you want quickly? Or are you somebody who looks around going, where are the keys in my house? How many hours have you wasted doing that? And the R, I won't give you a BES, but the R is to rethink. That's all about habits. If you can make some of the most important things in your day a habit, you no longer spend much, how much time do you spend thinking about brushing your teeth, right? But I'll tell you what, because it's a habit, is the habit that you get out of bed at a certain hour, that you hit the ground running, that you celebrate, that you call your friends when you don't need them, so they're there when you do. That's one of my habits. We all have different habits. You want to get some new habits, some exciting habits, billionaire habits? Go find a billionaire and ask him what he does. Study them. Nowadays you can go online, and like Vogue or a couple of other those places allow you to go into the bathroom of some of your favorite celebrities to see their morning routine. I freaking love this. Are you kidding me? I now get to see some of my all-time beauty idols, what stuff they're putting on their face in the morning, how they're looking at their own image without makeup on and not loving it. It's like a level playing field, guys. This is the greatest time in history to be alive, unless you're not willing to take responsibility for you. So, and then the last part of all that is the level of mentorship. Who are you looking at? Who is your role model? And by the way, not that your role model is any better than you. This was a huge thing that I didn't know. I believed in my little pea brain as a young one that people were better than me. They were prettier than me. They were richer. They were famous. They must be better than me. I now understand in my heart they are the same as me. They are just further down the path. So if you go down that path, you could achieve that if you really, really wanted to. But it took me almost 60 years to get comfortable with me and how I thought. I'm going to urge you, stop wasting time, get happy, and let everything emanate from that place. And your life will be a life worth living. Jay?
This is awesome. So Dr. Forbes Riley, there, guys, a legend, an absolute legend. Over $2.5 billion. Over $2.5 billion in revenue in her career. One of the absolute, I would say, if not the creator, one of the co-creators of the infomercial area, doing about almost 200 infomercials. And for those of you that are new into the room, and do a quick reset, and I'm gonna go back and we're gonna spin off. And Dr. Forbes, whenever you feel it, it's gonna be fun because we're gonna let you ask some questions today to Dr. Forbes Riley. She's unbelievable at that, helping you get your pitch straight as you get into 2023. I'm Jay Noland up in the top right-hand corner, and I'm talking to our producer today, our media producer that's running us across multi-channels. So we're going on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube. And so Kirk Nugent, as you can see there, we're working through him. But make sure all the mods, you give a follow-up here, because they are going to be pouring in some content and really contributing to the power of this room today. Make sure you're following our speakers up on stage, phenomenal backgrounds. But make sure you're clicking on each other's bios for those of you that are on Clubhouse. And for those who are not on Clubhouse, on the stream, we will go post. Once we're done, we will repost the link. But we probably already posted some of them in here. But the link you see will also be the replay. So make sure you understand that you can go back. Do y'all know in about 45 minutes, we've had almost 800 people come through this room and listen to this information. That's the power of collaboration. That's the power of working together. And that's the power of you and what we're doing here. So we're going to keep this thing rocking. I want to get over the senior vice president, the ex-senior vice president of Pepsi-Cola. Robert, if you can flash your mic, I want to make sure you're available to speak. Let's do a check there. Okay, wonderful. This is the ex-senior vice president of Pepsi-Cola, Wharton Business School graduate, owned his own advertising agency for 10 years, has been a phenom when it comes to being an entrepreneur as well. But we're talking about preparing people, Robert, for how to set their business up for success for 2023 and beyond. Now, Robert, hold on before we get there, because I just noticed that we do have this link up here, Forbes, for the event you're doing. So 1 second, Robert, because I don't want people to miss this, because I think it's almost sold out. Forbes Riley, is the event you're doing, that's next week, so 6 days from now, people can still grab a ticket. I know it's almost sold out. Is that correct? Can they still get one? I put the link up before I ask you that question, so go ahead.
Yes. There's actually 2 spots left for in person. Guys, this is a funny thing. I purposely don't advertise this at all. And I'm sure I could sell out easier than we do, but I thrive on this interpersonal web of connecting people. And then there's about 8 spots left to do it virtually. And the only reason I'm opening this up virtually, because I would have never done this in the old days. I'm a big fan of, you got to be in this room. There's no speakers. It's an experiential journey for you to literally up level who you are. It's what changed me. It's what changed Tony, being in this kind of an environment. But I've got 2 students who can't ever travel. One who just touched my heart 15 years ago. She was diagnosed. She was going to lose her liver. She prayed. However, she did that, saying, please, she just got pregnant. Let me have a baby. Let me see my baby grow up. And she got to witness that. Her daughter was 14 when she got a liver available. And she is now, her daughter's 17, and she's one of my clients, one of my students. I got her through our connection, through what we do, to finally write the letter of thank you to the donor family. It took her 2 years. It took me 1 week with her. But that was something that was weighing on her head and her heart. She didn't know how to do it. She did it. Now she is glowing, but she can't ever travel to the US from UK. And my other client, who, if you want to be inspired, guys, talk to a guy who's a quadriplegic because of a car accident, and yet he smiles and keeps going every single day. I challenge many of you that would have been the end for many of us, I think. But Dan doesn't do that. And he is a bright, beautiful spirit. And so he's going to be in that class virtually. I've got a girl flying 30 hours. She is not wealthy by any. We did a fundraiser to get her plane ticket all the way from South Africa to be in the room. The room shapes up to be who is there is the right people to be there. I've got Blanca Perper being there, who is this unbelievable lawyer turned advocate for entrepreneurs. We've got Tony Kaufman, who is a speaker agent coming to the room. It's intimate. It's in my television studio. I built $1 million TV studio. And yes, you get to hang with me and Joshua. And we've included a $1,500 branding day. We used to charge for that. It's completely free. I don't know if I'm doing another one of these this way. My team wants me to go bigger. I like the intimacy. Jane knows this. Jane Lee and I have had lots of meals together. At the end of the day, you know, like we just all heard, the Queen passed away today. God rest her soul. Wow. And we'll all have a moment and then we'll forget it. Her family will never forget it. The people whose lives that she interacted with on a daily basis will never forget it. I want to have an impact not only globally, but when you get too big, you don't get to have an impact personally. And I do think the benefit is genius. But what happens to me, how I grow, how I become a completely different human being since I've been doing Forbes Factor, is why this event is so powerful. Jay?
I'm sorry, it's Victoria. I got to jump in and speak on Dr. Forbes' behalf. I love this woman. Hi, Jay. It's been a moment.
Go ahead, Victoria. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Let me tell. Good to see you too, my brother. But let me tell you, I had a conversation with Forbes. You don't even know you did this for me the other day. We were talking, and I was talking about going over to the Philippines because that's where my team is, or Singapore. I don't know where I was talking about going. And she planted something in my soul with just one sentence because she knows I'm a speaker. She's like, Victoria, what are you doing? You're a speaker. Just set your intention that you're going to go and it's going to be paid for, and it's going to be paid for first class. And just that aha, because I'm scrambling, trying to figure out how to do it. But when you're in a room with people like Dr. Forbes Riley that can plant those types of seeds, it is priceless. You will grow and you will learn. And I'm going to yield because I'll just keep talking about her. But you have to be in the room. You have got to be in the room with the right people. If you don't sign up for this, I know it's next week and you're probably thinking, oh my God, it's going to be 3 days and I got a week advance. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You want to be in the room with her. You want to be in the room with the people that are in that room because you will make connections. And with that, thank you, Jay, for allowing me to cut in.
Well, and before you go back to Jay, I also want to love on Victoria. This is another crazy thing. If you want to get close to somebody who you admire, invest in them. Not a lot. We're not talking, you want to do Tony Robbins now. So I think it's $150,000 to get close to him. Me, it's $3. And I'll tell you what, you do get pretty damn close for that. But I'm going to love on Victoria for a second. Here's a woman who is a self-made businesswoman who has put in the hours and the time and the things that she knows about business. I've been coming to her for coaching. I've been coming to her to understand how to delegate responsibilities. If you're hearing this right now, the universe just said to me that you maybe have been doing a little bit of that soulpreneur bullshit like I have. I got to tell you, the wisest thing I've learned from her and my daughter and other geniuses in my world is to look at what you do every day, make an SOP, a standard operating procedure about what you do every day, and then let somebody else do it so you can literally live in your zone of genius. Victoria, did I do you proud?
Yes. And by the way, we're exchanging checks in the mail. I'm just kidding. Yes.
I love just watching this bounce. I want to make sure, guys, before we move over to the ex-senior vice president of Pepsi-Cola, Forbes, I know yesterday, that I don't know if this is available there, but I thought there might have been one other scholarship that might be available, and I don't want to talk out of turn on.
All right, you know what, brother? You are just pushing my limits here. All right, so if you're in the room, we got 150 people in the room. Here's what Jay did yesterday. Sometimes for some of you, and I don't mind this, guys, I grew up with no money. I remember very clearly my very first transformational training. Somebody said to me, "You really should go to this." I was like, "I don't know why I would. I don't understand what seminars are about." And then he said it was $900. I'm like, I can't afford that. Listen to me. That was my MO for a good portion of my life. I grew up with no money. I was the daughter of a woman who was a depression baby. She was a hoarder. So there was always a sense of lack. Newsflash. There is no lack. Put your hand up, grab some money. We can make money anytime, anywhere you want. And if you don't know how to do that, you definitely want to come hang out with me. And so, but I said that to him. That was like my knee-jerk reaction. Didn't matter how much it was. I never knew what I could afford. I didn't understand it. He said, "Well, how are you going to get it? You want to go, don't you?" I'm like, "I do, but I'll tell you that's not served me very well." He ended up saying, "Well, why don't you ask me for a loan?" I'd never done that before. And then he let me create my own terms. It's pretty clever. I said, "All right, $100 a month with no interest." And he said, "Yes." That event changed my life. I was 31 years old. If you have never been to a transformational seminar, whether it's mine or anyone else's, do yourself a favor. It is something not to be missed. I didn't really care about college. I didn't get shit out of college, but I'll tell you what. I've gone to a series of these transformational type trainings where you are forced to look at who you are, to shed limiting beliefs, to find your personal greatness, to think bigger than you're doing right now. Really, really urgently vital for you to do. And I remember talking to Tony about this when he was just starting, and the people who have affected our lives. And then we take each other's trainings because they're that, just even setting aside a space for that. So Jay did something really outrageous. And this is what you get when you have a beautiful partner. He said, "Forbes, I know it's 2997. If you guys go to the link, it says www.Forbes Factor Live Training." He said, "I bet there's somebody out there that if I gifted $1,000, he had no reason to do this. It came into my bank account yesterday. $1,000 towards the training. The first person who signs up, I'm going to give that to them. I've got to go grab her name. It was a beautiful gift. And I will tell you what, that's part of her story forever. And it's going to come back around to Jay because she's going to do something amazing for him. We don't even know what that is just yet, but that's how the universe works. I will match that. So if any of you, or the first person who comes there, I will gift you the fact that I will take that off the tuition as well. I think I left that link on there. So if you go there, it says Jay Special. It's $1,000 off the price of that ticket to the first person who signs up, and then I do have to take it down. Jay, is that what you meant?
That's exactly it, guys. So y'all make sure y'all get this. You got an opportunity. See, a lot of times it's like who you're connected with. I can't emphasize this enough. It's how you can get a hookup, because a lot of people, they want a hookup, but you got to get hooked up with the right people. And so what's going on next week, and I think Dr. Sheila's up in this room here. I think she's here. I think she's the one that jumped on it. Was that right, Dr. Sheila? Did you jump on it?
Yes.
Okay, so Dr.
Yes,
Sheila,
indeed.
Dr. Sheila, what made you make that move? Listen, Forbes said y'all click on that link up above, because the first person that does it, you get $1,000 off. What made you make that move, Dr. Sheila?
Thank you for being here, Jay, Jarrett, Dr. Forbes. It's an honor. You know, what made me jump on that opportunity was the fact that this is someone that I've been watching literally for 30 years. And I know that her mastermind transformational training is going to be so off the chain that I had to be there in person. This was a price that is unspeakable. And I know that if I invest in myself, I will only better the people that I coach, I mentor, and I train. And I just thank you again for the opportunity of being there. Thank you, Jay, for doing that offer for us. And I'm super excited. And thank you so much. And I drop the mic.
All right. So the
Hey,
first.
can I chime in and say something about Victoria?
Absolutely. Go ahead, Rex Sykes.
This is me. Yes, Rex Sykes. I love Victoria. She is a woman of integrity. She walks her talk. She creates things. She's a person of action, and she is an incredible support. She does it selflessly, and she she does it with care and with thought. And there are some people like that in the world, but she definitely represents one of the good people, and she won't say something if she doesn't believe in it. I'll also say something about my friend Forbes Riley. Forbes is like a hurricane. She is a force of nature. She is positive and powerful and persuasive and persistent. And because of all those things, she is who she is and created what she is. And so listen to Victoria, listen to Dr. Forbes, and to all of the incredible people on this platform who have value to give and offer it to you in whatever way they do. And with that, I'm Rex, and I'm complete.
I appreciate that, Rex. So, guys, before I take that link down, if you want to be the first person, you'll be one of 35 people in a room for 3 days with Dr. Forbes Riley. At the end of that, I want to emphasize this. You will have a $1,500 photo shoot that you'll be able to use for all your social media and branding. That alone with her guidance. And there's a great chance that myself and my wife will be showing up on Sunday after the event's over for a special jam session. And I can already tell you all, I'm just going to say this. You already know that if I show up on the set and then Dr. Forbes Riley and I are sitting there together, and we've got Tanisha Graham, another XP mentor coming all the way from Texas, it's going to be lit. It's going to be on fire. And I'm telling you right now, it's going to be life-changing. So make sure those of you that understand this, and if you take advantage of it, y'all send me a message, because I'm going to do something special for you too, because I want you to get impacted. Dr. Sheila doesn't know this, but she get ready to get a double blessing because she took action right away. And we're going to help watch these folks. So these 35 people that are there, y'all got to understand what's going on. We're going to be watching these folks. And when they come out of Forbes event, they also were participating with an XP mentor while they were at Forbes event. So now we oversee it. Jarrett Albritton is up in the top left-hand corner. We have full production going on all over the place. So right now, as we're sitting here talking to you right now, Jarrett came in, he introduced, he spoke to you, he sent me a message. He says, I'm back in the studio. I'm filming the course that's going on XP Mentor. And so we're about to spread out everywhere. You're going to hear us all over the place. Look, man, I got messages coming in. This is off the hook. We love what's happening. I got my man Giuseppe in here. We got another XP mentor, Selena Belazon. Before we get rocking, we got to get Robert in. Then I'm going to go over to Giuseppe and Selena. Be ready, an XP mentor, because she's fire, an angel investor. She's part of the XP mentor staff. So that link's up there. We're going to drop this link as well over in the comments. Before I bring in the ex-senior vice president of Pepsi-Cola to drop some bombs, let's get the shares up in the room. We don't charge you anything, but we do request a share that we want Clubhouse to know. This is the #1 room on entrepreneurship and preparing yourself for 2023. So everybody down at the bottom, you see that little box? You see that box at the bottom with the arrow up? We got 57 shares right now. Let's get this thing to 100 ASAP, team. Let's do some teamwork. You know, the one thing that when I come around people, they come in, they're listening in, and you might be hearing me for the first time. Well, guess what? I'm coming in like family with you from the first time. I'm coming in assuming, like when I play professional baseball, that you're that 95-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle, and it's time to hit a home run together with you, but you got to jump in. Come in with both feet. Go, let's go. Like, let's go. Let's stop tiptoeing and hesitating. We're talking about how to go into 2023 to set your business up, but it's going to require you making the right actions today. You got to take advantage today. So share. If you want to get some withdrawals, let's go. Share the room. Share the room. I want to see 100 pop up on that screen as fast as possible. And I promise you, once I see 100, I'm going to do something special for the room. Let's get this thing rocking. Robert Mailer, the ex-senior vice president of Pepsi-Cola. What you got, Robert?
Thank you so much, Jay. And Jarrett, thank you for hosting XP Mentor today on the Startup Club. I mean, this is a phenomenal room. Just listening to the people that have been speaking. I mean, Forbes Riley. I mean, as we've talked about, you know, you are who you hang around. And if you want to learn to get good, hang around people who are good. You want to learn to get great, Hang around people who are great. If they give you an opportunity to get next to them and learn what they've got and what they've done and how they did it, and they're willing to show you, teach you, and help you to model yourself after them, certainly do it. So the event that she's got going on next week is more than phenomenal. And it is unbelievable the opportunity people are being given to be able to go at a discount. The fact that there's going to be so many strong people there, that just says so much. And, anytime you can do anything to better yourself from a personal development standpoint, that's going to help. If you want your business to be better in 23, as Jay just said, you got to start doing things now. So personal development right now is key. Anything you do, being in rooms like this, listen to somebody like Rex Sykes, okay, and the other phenomenal speakers that will be speaking, next. You want to be hearing from people who have already done it and it can help you to be able to achieve. It's funny because I was thinking about it when you were just talking about how we need to be, doing things now. I thought back, and it's a long time ago when I was with Pepsi, or it seems like it anyway. And right now, we would be in the throes of our business planning for the following year. By the end of September, our business plans were due. At one point, I was running Denver Pepsi before I became a senior vice president. Denver Pepsi was an $80 million business. I was in my late 20s. I had an HP 12C. I don't know if any of you remember those. You kind of like do everything backwards on it, but it was like the first computer that looked like a calculator because there really weren't computers. And it was unbelievable, the work that we were doing to put together a business plan. But what was that business plan for? That was to drive a corporation. And everything, and I'm thinking about personal development. All these things flash back just in these last few minutes while I was waiting to speak. I went to all sorts of what you would think were personal development things with Pepsi. But when I really think back on them now, they were more Robert Mailer development to help Pepsi-Cola do better. Okay, yes, did they develop me? Yeah, to some degree, but they were all pretty slanted in their direction. Because years later, when I decided that corporate America wasn't for me anymore, because I realized I really wasn't helping people, I was actually probably hurting people. I know I hurt people career-wise because I had to make tough decisions, not because of them, but because of the business, because of those numbers, because of that business plan I just talked about, and it was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking to have to hurt people like that who were good people who just ended up in the wrong place because of a number, because of shareholder value. And that went on for a few more years until I finally realized that just wasn't the way it should be. It wasn't a matter of scarcity. It was a matter of abundance. There was plenty for everybody if we just worked together. And that's what's great about rooms like this. This is collaboration where we can learn from others, but also we're promoting one another. Jarrett was talking about finding people that have something and have people that need what you need. And then with that connection, it benefits everybody. The connector is benefited because, wow, look, great. They just gave me, they just helped me in my business. But the other people that needed help from your business, the connector gets positive vibes from that as well. So all those things are positive. So, what I thought was personal development, seminars, classes, going on 3-day, what we called boondoggles when I was at Pepsi, they still did not help me to become an entrepreneur. They helped me to understand how to run a business, but not when it was mine. It was within a firm structure, almost like a concrete silo that seems so secure. You could, if you were strong enough, you could just run through that because the walls were strong enough, you really couldn't bounce out of it. So when I look at what changed, I went and got an MBA from the Wharton School of Business. And why did I do that? Because I hit a glass ceiling of Pepsi. I was basically told, without an MBA, this is how far you're going to go. If you got an MBA, the sky's the limit. So I went and got one. Again, being structured by the corporation, not for an entrepreneurial spirit. Now, I was smart enough when I went to go get that MBA. I had shied away from a lot of finance in college because I had a fairly strong grasp on math, I felt, so I kind of shied away from that from a business standpoint in college. Well, once I got into business, I just got done telling you I had to do that business plan with Pepsi and when I was in Denver, and I was like, wow, I wish I had more information about this. I wish I knew more about this. So I focused completely on finance and international business when I was at Wharton. And that aided me tremendously when I went into my own business. But the biggest key I look at right now, if you're looking at wanting to be able to set yourself up today for business in 23, it is whatever you can do now, because you can't start on January 1st, 2023. You should have already started way before, but starting now is the best time because now is right now. Okay, not tomorrow, okay? Not the day after, right now. And you want to start winning now. So start focusing on your business goals. But while you're doing that, you can start working on yourself personally. Once again, attending any rooms like this is so tremendous because it will help you not only to learn what you need to learn, get strong with those skills, but you'll make the connections, okay? And then through collaboration, you can continue to grow your sphere and you can start giving to others, like Jay keeps talking about. You've got to give deposits if you want withdrawals. So you need to start working on that. But in today's business, especially looking at 23, and Jarrett talked about this so tremendously, is there is so much out there today that wasn't there 20 years ago. Business 20 years ago, you either needed to have a store or sell your stuff into a store, one or the other. Today, it is a wide open marketplace. You've got all of these rooms on the internet. You've got podcasts. You've got websites. There are so many things. There's only so much we can do individually without having an army of people like Pepsi does. But if we utilize the internet and the strength of that, and silent salesperson, that is what that presence is. Your social media presence, okay, your website presence. You know, when you're talking about things like, you know, reputation management, when people are writing about you, reviews, you know, the old saying, if they're not talking about you, you're not doing anything. Well, you want to make sure what they're saying, and you want to make sure you're managing that. So we can work through all those things. So to me, the biggest thing somebody can do, especially realizing where things are going into this, you know, whole meta world, is start focusing on where can I have the greatest impact outside of what I've been doing right now. Okay, you can always keep doing more of what you're doing now. You can always get better at what you're doing now. But find another avenue, you know, something that you're not doing within that internet space that you can work to achieve greater contact with people, because it's all about attracting people. Okay, it's not only law of attraction. When it comes to sales and to business, it's attracting somebody because they need/want your product. Okay, it's not because you want them to have it, because you think it's great. You need them to need and want it. So there needs to be some communication there that you can get in contact with them, and they can have that feeling of wanting more information. So there has to be attraction. Okay, then you need to capture that individual. You capture their thought process, you capture their attention, and then you're able to send your message. So you need to tighten up that message. From there, they then become a customer. But guess what? That's not where it ends, because the best business in the world and strongest business in the world, the strongest growth is found based upon word of mouth. Word of mouth can kill you, and word of mouth can catapult your business like nobody's business. And with the internet universe, you can get in contact with so many more people that then if you take a satisfied customer and you treat them correctly, meaning that you're in contact with them, maybe social media, maybe responding to reviews. Okay, it might be the fact that, you know, they're asking questions from a customer service standpoint, and you're building a positive relationship. So they get your product or service, they enjoy that, but on top of that, they feel that they had a great experience dealing with you. You know, maybe you reached out and thanked them for their business. You then have created a brand ambassador. You've created not just a customer, but somebody who's going to sing your praises from the rooftops. And guess what? If I hear a friend telling me something is a great service or a great product, that is the most believable thing you can have. So I would be looking at avenues to be doing that, working that, because obviously you can always be doing more, working more elbow grease. As I always talk about, your business is a big bucket and you're putting sand in that bucket. So obviously you can always be putting more in the bucket. But one way to put more in the bucket is by using the internet, is by using all these waves that we're involved in. Then the second way to grow your business is by reducing the size of the hole that's at the bottom, because every bucket has a hole that we're given when we're building business. And we're not very good at what we're doing. We can be putting a ton at the top, but it's just so much falling out at the bottom. There are ways to start learning how to decrease the size of that hole. So you're capturing more, they're becoming customers, and then becoming a brand ambassador that wants to help you grow your business because they have such an affinity for your product or service. They want to help you to grow. And I'm out.
Well, before you go out, you know, we've got a digital marketing agency that launches next week that Robert's heading up for our company. Again, you're listening to the ex-senior vice president of Pepsi-Cola. By the way, if I'm freaking anybody out, this is Jay Noland here in the top right-hand corner. We've got our producer, Mr. Kirk Nugent, right up underneath Jarrett. He's producing this across multiple platforms, Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on YouTube. And when we're done, we're going to market to all those channels as well. So when you speak, by the way, you're going to be featured. We're going to be putting your sign up on our multi-channels that are going across. But Robert, we got Digably.biz launching next week, and you're heading up that project. And just based on what you just shared, and then we'll get the stage rocking here, but we want to make sure to set this room up right. Digably.biz, what's going to happen when a person comes in? Because right now we got the beta sitting back. So a person goes to the site, they scroll to the bottom, they put their name and email in, and then we run a Digga scan on them. I'm going to set Robert up here. So you run a Digga scan. Digga scan means it's going to go look and search your business, your website across the internet over 24 to 48 hours. It's then going to come back and deliver a report and grade you from A to F. And if you're weak, what you want to know of areas you're weak in, that's the difference in professionals and unprofessionals. See, unprofessionals, they're afraid to face the truth. Professionals, they love seeing where their weaknesses are because they know if they build that up and make it a strength, they're the bomb. So don't be afraid to go ahead and see where you're at. Now, once you get that grade, Robert's overseeing this. So for the first 50, and because we've already blown through that, let's open it up to 75, Robert. Okay, I'm going to make Robert's going to work even more here. So for the first 75, because I think we've already got about 50, you go over, put your name, email in, you're going to get a free Digga scan. That's about a $500 value that you're going to get for free. When you see it hit the marketplace, there'll be an introductory, little small price, but it's about a $500 scan. Then there's a business suite that you'll have access to. We call it the Jumpstart Business Suite because most people, they don't have their business set up right at all. And so there's 7, 8 different tools in there. I think, Robert, you were hitting on some of those tools. But going into the business suite, plus then we've got the other close to 300 software products, but we keep it concise. What's going to happen, Robert? So now I'm asking Robert Mailer, the ex-senior vice president of Pepsi-Cola, to oversee 75 people in their business, whether you're using the Digably products or yours, for the first year. For the first year, if you get the Jumpstart Business Suite, that portion is free. What do you have to say about that, Robert? Let's keep it concise so we can get everybody interacted here. Over to you, Robert.
You bet, absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited about this because the bottom line is, as I said, there's ways to be able to decrease the size of that hole in the bottom of the bucket. And the biggest thing is if you don't have a website, brand new, you don't have a website, got to get one. And we can help you to do that. One of the greatest things about Digably, because it is a digital advertising agency, and I own an advertising agency, things were expensive. Okay, because today's world, things are much less expensive. We've been able to find a way, like Jay just said, to deliver things, in the tens of dollars a month, some in the hundreds of dollars a month. There's customizable things you can do more than that. But the bottom line is, we're going to be able to help you building your website, content in your website, because that's so important. The old saying, pictures worth 1,000 words. A video is worth 1,000,000 words. And that's so important. So we're going to be able to do that. That helps with SEO, search engine optimization, because you can have a website, but if it can't be found, that's really of no use. Then we're also going to be able to make, once they're able to find it, make it so it's customer friendly, user friendly, because if they get frustrated, they're going to bounce out. So we're going to be able to track all of that. You're going to get graded on all those things, A to F. And once again, you do want to know those things. Things about reputation management, things about reviews, things about social media, your listings, Yelp, Google, so customer relation management, all of that. So I see what's going to happen is we're going to be able to get a snapshot of where somebody stands, and then every one of those individuals is going to be able to start working on those separate items, take their F's to C's, take their C's to B's, B's to A's, and build up, which will help to enclose that bottom of that bucket so that more will be held in there. And for some people that don't have much of a presence at all, it's going to increase the amount of sand you're sticking into the top of that bucket. So I'm just really, really excited because this actually makes a level playing field for the average entrepreneur to start doing what large companies are able to do with the use of large agencies. You're not going to have access to that. I'm happy to be part of helping other people to grow. And as I said before, it's all about us working together and getting a circular motion of growth that keeps getting faster and faster and as it goes around in a circle, but wider and wider, impacting more and more people. And that's what the XPMentor program is about. It's all about creating a movement, helping people to have more success in their life and making a better world. And I believe Digably is going to help that with people's businesses. And I thank you all.
Hey, this is about to be fun, man, because we get to watch this on purpose. We're talking about how to set your business up for success in 2023 and beyond. And I'm telling you, that starts right now. You just heard from the ex-senior vice president of Pepsi-Cola, who will be overseeing the first 75 people who will pay nothing as far as their first year when it comes to the Jumpstart Business Suite. You want to upgrade from there, that's up to you. But if you want to get the basics down, which is what I had to learn when in professional sports, get the basics down, master the basics. It's on and popping, man. We got 10G up in here. 10G, flash your mic, because that's another XP mentor. I want to see if 10G is available. 10G Colin from TMZ. All right, 10G, XP mentor up on the platform. What are you going to be doing for folks to help them going into 2023 as an XP mentor? 10G Colin from TMZ. Over to you, 10G.
Hey, Jay, give me I'm in a bad sound area. Give me a couple minutes.
Yeah, all right, couple minutes. Just hit me back when you get back here. 10G, we're going to bring him out of the matrix. I want to make sure Francois is on standby to help me mod the room a little bit when I have to take a little potty break, because I'm on the stream, y'all. This is being streamed everywhere. But with that being said, I just want to say hello to our sister Jackie. Got Felicia up in this room. It's just a powerhouse stage. Dr. Forbes Riley, anytime you want to chime back in, you make sure to come in. We're going to have some questions and answers to get you well prepared. We got a great, phenomenal stage. You see Haas come here. We've got the walking coach, Ms. Toy, Patricia, is that Doc up in here? Dr. Sheila still up in the room. Victoria just blasting. Ebony. We got Jerry Tucker. Fiona sent me a beautiful message. Oh, my goodness. Darlene is up in here as well. Michelle, one of our XP mentor specialists that will be helping people with courses. We got Michelle T up in the house, Michelle Cox, and DJ David Justice up in the house. And listen, here's what my man Scott, the Rhino Harris. Scott, you ready to rip on this subject before we open up the stage?
I am, Jay.
Well, let her rip, Rhino. By the way, Scott and I have been best friends, man, for 26 years. We were friends back when we had milk crates for furniture. Scott lives in this beautiful 12,000 square foot estate now, and it's always blown me away how your thoughts can really become things. I can remember him and I talking when we had those air mattresses, and you could hear each other in the middle. How many of y'all in the middle of the night when you had an air mattress? I don't know if y'all old school like us. If y'all had to struggle like that, and the air runs out of the damn air mattress, you got to pump it up. Y'all remember that with your feet or with your hands? But how many of y'all remember that? If y'all on the stage, y'all remember that? Anybody had to go through that? Shit, I'm telling you, we came up. All right, over to you, Scott. What you got to say? The Rhino.
All righty. Thank you, Jay. Thank you. Am I coming in loud and clear?
Coming in loud and clear. Francois, you take the swing until I get back.
Beautiful.
Go ahead, Scott.
Beautiful. Well, first, I just want to say thank you for being able to be on this stage today. There's some powerhouse people, amazing powerhouse people in here. And I love being able to listen and share with them. I'm blown away already by the amount of information we've already gotten. If you came in this room today and you didn't even know what this room was, if you've been taking notes, you can change your life already just from what you've already heard. So today I'm going to keep mine short. I just want to say this, though. I have known Jay for 26 years, and I remember about 25 years ago, maybe 24, we were on Maui, in Maui, Hawaii, and we were down by the ocean. It was late at night, like 10, 11 o'clock at night. We walked up and got up on top of this big rock right by the ocean. And we started talking to each other about what we were going to do in our dreams. But the thing I learned about Jay's very driven. He was a professional athlete. He played professional baseball. He had a lot of coaching along the way, not only from his dad, but from all these, incredible coaches that he had in sports. He didn't just play baseball, by the way. When he was in high school and college, he played football, baseball. He played just about every sport there was. So he had all these coaches. And when I met him, I realized he was more driven than anybody I'd ever met. And I wanted to be more like that. So what you've got to do if you want to be like that, you got to find somebody that's willing to spend some time with you and share with you, or someone you can study in a room just like the room you're in right now. Think about it. In the startup club, you got Jarrett Albritton. This man knows he's forgotten more about tech than I'm ever going to know in my life. I get to listen to him and learn from him in rooms like this. I don't have to go to his house and knock on the door, because can you imagine if you went to someone's house? Let's say you went to Dr. Forbes Riley's house, knocked on the door and said, Dr. Riley, I'd like you to teach me everything you know. Well, she don't have time to do that, first of all, and she probably doesn't know yet. But you can now go to her training, or you can be in these rooms and listen to her. And that's part of what I wanted to share today. I am who I am today because of the mentors and the trainers I've had through the years. One of my first personal mentors just happens to be one of my best friends in the world. That's Jay Noland. So I started following Jay, and we started telling each other what we were going to do. We had this rule. We had 3 rules, actually. But the number 1 rule was you got to do what you say you're going to do no matter what. That was our number 1 rule at all times. Now, if you were supposed to be somewhere and you had an accident or something, you could call and say, hey, I ain't going to make it. But other than that, if you said you were going to do it, you had to go do it. Rule number 2 was we had to like and trust each other. And rule number 3 is we had to have fun and smile. Well, you can't have fun and smile and like and trust somebody if they don't do what they say they're going to do. So that night we were out there talking about what we were going to do. And you know what? One of the things I talked about was I wanted to be able to get a home like I live in right now. Now I've been here since 2008, so it's not the same anymore. I have new dreams going on now. But back then, that was what I wanted. I wanted the house. I wanted certain amenities with the house. I wanted a steam room and a sauna. I wanted a theater room. I wanted to have a massage room. I wanted to have a workout room. I wanted a cardio room. I wanted all these extra rooms, a full bar. And you know what? This house has all that now. I'm not saying that to brag, because I went to a high school where there were 23 people in my graduating class. I'm from a very small town in Kentucky. So the reason I tell you what I just said is, if you want something bad enough and you'll pay attention to the right people, anybody can get it. If I can do what I did over the last 26 years since I met Jay, anybody can do it if they're just willing to get trained. So my nickname is the Rhino. I picked that up many years ago. There's a book called Rhinoceros Success. Very basic book. It talks about the difference in rhinoceroses and cows. You know, rhinos go out there and they have adventures. They run through the jungle. They got thick skin. They don't let things stop them. Cows just follow the lead cow all around. They all do the same thing. And they don't last too long, because they're eventually going to be a leather purse, or they're going to be a cheeseburger or something. So you don't want to be a cow. Don't do what everybody else does. Be a rhino, man. Go out and have adventures. So after I read that book, I came up with a couple of little quote. My number 1 quote in the world is "Rhino up." It's like saying "man up" or "woman up," right? Or "cowboy up." Do the hard stuff, man. Not everybody's going to do it. That's why they won't have what you have, or they won't do what you do. Rhino up in your life. Get ready. Just like Dr. Riley said today. You don't have to wait until January to start rhinoing up for 2023. You can start it right now. The other motto that I love is do whatever it takes legally to get what you want in life, or don't whine about it. Do whatever it takes legally to get what you want in life, or don't whine about it. Guys, there's ways to keep your mindset. You can have daily affirmations that you read. I have a list of daily affirmations. If anybody reaches out to me on Instagram, I'll send you a copy of that. It's called Rhino Affirmations. And I used to read those every day. I read them so many days that I didn't even need to look at the paper anymore. I used to have salespeople that worked for me, and I had them read them every day till they didn't need to look at it. But my point today is this: you can do anything you want to do, but you have to prepare for it. You have to get organized. You have to get your mindset right. You got to quit listening to people that tell you can't. You got to be around more people like Jarrett and like Dr. Forbes Riley, like Jay Noland, right? And all these people up here on the stage. Robert Mailer, who just spoke, is a personal friend of mine. I've known him for probably 24, 25 years. If you get around people like that have had success and they're willing to share, that's the most important part of it. They're willing to share it with you. I would take advantage of it. I'll finish with this. I started one of my first businesses back in college with some business partners. We started an off-campus bookstore. We went to the bookstore and we saw how many books people were buying. We're like, why don't we do this? So we went to the guy that owned that bookstore and said, we're going to open up a bookstore, not at this college, somewhere else. And we were just wondering if you could give us some tips and advice. So he said, you know what, guys? I'm really busy all the time, but for $2,000 a year, I'll be your advisor and I'll make sure that you do things right. So we went back. There were 5 of us that started that that company, and we voted on it. And I voted to hire that guy. And you know what? It got voted down. So at the end of our first year, we lost a minimum of $50,000, but up to $100,000 that we could have made if we had someone that had already been there and done that and showed us. Now, we eventually opened multiple stores. I eventually sold my part out. But the fact is, we could have made so much more money if we had a mentor. And that's what XP Mentor is for. For $8 a month, you can get involved with XP Mentor and hear from all these people that you've been hearing about today. I won't repeat all the names because you're going to see them on the website. But if you can learn from all those people, in my opinion, there's no way that you can't go out and do anything that you want to do. You'll be unstoppable. You can get the rhino mindset by just being in a part of XP Mentor. Jay, I'll finish with that. Unless anybody has any questions or thoughts, I appreciate the time and I appreciate this stage.
I appreciate what you're doing, man. I tell you what, Francois, you
That
want to
is
give us a
so
reset?
powerful. Rhino up. Listen, guys, this is Francois speaking up here, and I can say this to you guys honestly that I love
We were
the
muted. You
people
can
that
speak
are
now.
on this stage. A person like Scott the Rhino Harris, man, I can personally vouch that his home is, man, it's just beautiful and it's filled with love. I've spent time there. I've been in that gym. I've been in that hot sauna. I've been in that steam room. I've been in that pool when we broke the ice and jumped in and did the rhino plunge. So you're listening to people right now on the stage, right, that have manifested everything that they've been talking and dreaming about, you know, and it's a reality in their life and they're living life more abundantly. And like Mr. Harris was talking about, he has more dreams and aspirations that he wants to reach and hit. And he gave you the secret sauce, the cheat code. You need to have some mentorship in your life. Somebody that has been there, done that, got the t-shirt, has came back and said, hey, come on and follow me. Somebody like a Jarrett, right? And if you look on here, and it's not necessarily all about the followers that you get and everything, but my man has over 75,000 followers. That is an indication that he's an influencer. He's a leader that you want to click on his profile, find out what he's doing, and see why that many people are following him. Check this out. You got Dr. Forbes Riley right next to him, 52,000 followers. Most of us know her background and understand that she is really, for real, the queen of infomercials, right? She's a spectacular TV host. She's a personality, all of these things. But she pours into so many people that why wouldn't you want to give her a follow and follow her? Because you know she's going to be in the right spaces that's going to disseminate the correct information. Mr. Jay Noland, my coach, my personal mentor. I mean, I don't even know how many trainings I've been to where I've listened to him speak and then took action. And this is the way that you start to grow. Because when you listening to people and they're speaking from experience and wisdom and that personal knowledge, man, and you go out there and you apply it, then your belief goes up because you'll see these things that are effective in their life can be effective in your life. And it's a real thing. His wife, Miss Lena Noland, man, she's the quiet force behind all of this. Don't let her fool you. She's a powerhouse. When you hear her testimony about, her sales background and the businesses that she's building and everything, it just blows you away. And this is the environment that you want to be in right here. You want to know how to set your business up for success in 2023? Then you get around people like this. You get in spaces like this, and there's a transfer of energy that happens. There's a mindset that you can transform into. Because I know my mentor told me, if I think like you think, then I'll earn what like you earn. But if you think like I think, then you'll earn what I earn. It's really that simple. You just got to put forth the effort and take that action. When you put that action in there, then you become a Felicia, who's an amazing business coach, right? You become a Herman, who is an XP mentor and a financial guru. That's right, I said, I'm calling him a guru, right? And so many other amazing people that are on this stage, right? Any niche that you decide to focus in on, Go ahead and go at it with full force. But understand the cheat code is when you're around the right people, you put yourself in the right environment, you get that transfer of energy. And guess what? XP Mentorship can help facilitate that for you because there's a whole platform of amazing people. Now, we got some amazing people that came into the room. I see you, Coach Les is in here. You know, we got we got
I think 10G's back up in here, Francois.
What's that? Say it again.
I think we got 10G Colin from TMZ. I think he's back ready to rock. Let's check with him.
Ooh. Let's check with him. We got the 10G TMZ. Are you ready to rock? Are you in a
Yeah, I'm
better?
here. Yeah, I'm better. I hope I don't hear any back noise, but
Man, you
definitely,
sounding
I'm good. Okay, good.
clear.
Well, it's good. I'm listening and just hearing all the good things, especially what Robert was saying when talking about just being in corporate, but understanding when you could be doing a lot different and more helping for the people. And I think same situation that I'm in now with just being in a position, and I realize the opportunities that are meant for other people. And I think for me it's a learning curve. It's a point where I've just learned so much from just being part of like an organization. But as a true entrepreneur, you know exactly what you're meant to be, and how do you want to serve your people and other people in the sense of people who don't have that knowledge. And for me, the specialty has been about understanding how to attract media attention. And we all, when we think of PR and we think of just the different way of advertising, I think with the economy that we're in, the digital economy, and for a content creator, this is like a dream, just because of the way the opportunities that's out there. It's $100 billion industry right now for creators, and all the platforms are just literally, not just handing out money, but they know for their business to do well, they have to be in a position to get people who understand, the type of industry that they're in and the IP that they have in their head, and transform it to other people to get. It's no more just the traditional ways of creating advertising. Now it's just like people want to see, and I don't want to say like the organic, or just they want to see people that's more relatable. They want to see, and if you look on TikTok when people just, doing the videos when they're in their car and walking and holding the phone in their hand, they easily can go and purchase the big lights and, have a film crew, but they choose and they understand that they're reaching more people because they relate to them. And I know for me, coming from a space of, seeing entertainers and high profile people, the best type of contents that always do well, and I'm talking about it from an analytics standpoint, is always just the average walk-in, just the off the cuff, comments. And that's something that we've seen is very successful. And I think with some of these platforms that's happening right now, especially with Jay and everybody having now with the XP Mentor, which I'm also a part of, Jarrett, everybody that's, being a part of Robert's going to be running a lot of stuff. I'm just, excited to really hone in on the things that I've learned over the years. And I think it's like the best part of it is when you have so many people from different industries and you learn a little bit of, I think for me, what helped me is just learning a little bit of everybody, learning how to be not just a photographer, but a producer. And, and then it's just like adding those tools to your tool belt. And that's where so many people get, more amplified in their process in business. So I just know with something like this, this XP Mentor program, it's going to take people to a different, place, because so many times it's like, although you're a big person at your company, whether a CEO, and you got to understand, if you don't know some of the things that are applying to what you could be delegating to other people, it's not really done in the proper way. That's why you coming in parts of these mentor programs and seeing the things just to learn, even if you just listening to certain things that, Jarrett's giving you ahead of time or Jay's teaching you on. And then you just soak up so many of the different aspects of each business, and it allows you to perform better and to take your, whether it's a small business or corporate and take it to another level. So I just feel, excited about being part of this. And, excuse me for the background. I'm at the airport getting ready to fly out. I just wanted to jump on this before. So I'm kind of, I got people in the background, so it's kind of throwing me off. So excuse me.
It's all
But
good. Hey,
I'm definitely here.
this is
Yeah.
Jay. I'm speaking. For those of you that look a little confused, I'm up here speaking through Kirk. He's our producer today. We're going across multiple platforms, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. And so if you see me talking, I'm next to Kirk, but I'm talking through Kirk because he's doing our producing today. Before you get on that plane, 10G, world famous journalist from TMZ, will you share something with me that hit me in the heart that I never heard before? You said, Jay, everybody is their own media company, and I'm going to teach them how to do it through the XPMentor platform. What do you mean by that, 10G?
Oh, exactly, right. See, before there, years ago, and when I say years ago, I'm probably talking 2-3 years ago, there was always a gatekeeper. And, Robin knows how this goes, man. It's like you had to know somebody who knew somebody to get something in a prime spot or pay tons of money. And today it doesn't work like that. You can be your own creative. You can have your own message out there, and you have to figure out, and I'll say this because sometimes people get confused with starting their business or in their business, and they got to get all these strategies together. And, it's like it takes them too long, where what they should be figuring out is distribution. Distribution eats strategy for lunch any day of the week. When you have these outlets and you're on Clubhouse, when you're on TikTok, when you're on Pinterest, when you're on Instagram, these are distribution channels for you. And your voice, whatever product or service that you have out there now, you can amplify it by speaking and not paying media or like trying to garner media in different ways. But you can be your own company, and you start dictating and starting to be brand, not only just a company, you're branding yourself at the same token. Whereas before, you're going to pay for one or the other when you go to some of the networks or to some of the publications. And it's always, a kiss in the ring type of game. Whereas now they have to come to you. And this is the thing where I'll show people in a way of like, I've worked with interns, I worked with CEOs, I've worked with some of the big people, the decision makers, as far as getting stories out there and how do you go about it. And from what I've learned, these are the things and the tricks and, me being able to show you exactly how do you get your voice out there, your brand, and your own media company from a small business perspective. And I think that's just so important right now.
That's so true. We appreciate you, 10G, for taking the time on the fly. Again, that's 10G Colin. Y'all make sure, as you can see right there, we've got him across the platforms. Y'all make sure to follow him, catch him on social media. He dropped a video on TikTok. 10G, where's it at now? Last time I checked, it was 24 million views. That one you did with about Amazon, about Bezos. Where's it at now?
Yeah, it's about 25 million. Yeah. And it's just, it's just but and the thing about it is even getting on another platform is a distribution, just trying to figure out and work with clients to figure out what works and what doesn't work. And that's the beauty of like we're being part of these XPMentor platform. You'll be able to see the things that's tried and tested already from other people, so you don't have to go ahead and make the mistakes. And that's the beauty of it for real.
Y'all got 10G Colin, man. If y'all see the link up at the top, it's XPMentor, $8 a month. And we're bringing in one mentor after the next. There won't be any more than 20 mentors. There's 12 right now that are on the platform. You got Jarrett Albritton next to us, our partner. He's now also the vice president of global business development for our company. And he's strategizing. He meets with some of the biggest heads in the world. You got 10G Colin, who, like Hillary Clinton, wouldn't even talk to nobody when she lost the election before she talked to 10G. So you've got these type of influencers that are involved. You've seen Dr. Forbes Riley come in here, already drop bombs. You've seen Elisa Jacobs, with the uppercut NFT, and she's a major influencer, over 100,000 followers here on Clubhouse. And it's just, we're bringing in one after the next. Dan Pillar's going to be dropping bombs. So 10G, have a safe flight, man. Please text me. Make sure you got to your destination safe, man. We love you. We appreciate you, 10G.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Hey, Jay, real quick.
You got it.
10G just came drop some bombs, but he casually just said something. I don't want people to gloss over this. And 10G, Mr. Collin, if you're still there, how much did you say that this industry creates in revenue? You know, how much money people are making in this?
100 billion plus and counting. And the numbers are right now that the ad spend is going down with regular corporate because everything's on social media now, and the creators is like they're searching for creators. And the thing about it, most people don't understand is for a creator, you don't have to be a young kid. You don't have to be, just the definition of some influencers or something like that. That's out the window now. When you have an idea or you have the IP in your head where other people don't have, you know a way of being creative. There's so many opportunities. I tell you, I make easily over. I'm not gonna say over 20 a month on with just creating, and I do this part time, and not even have been putting everything into it. And I only say that because I know there's opportunities for so many people. I'll say this before I go. I had a client, and I was taking him through a funnel and showing him. I pulled up a link on it was on Pinterest, and somebody might have heard me say this before. And what happened? The lady, all she did was bake chocolate chip cookies, right? And I'm showing him, listen, she bakes chocolate chip cookies. That's on Pinterest. But what she's doing, she's taking you to a website, which is going to her YouTube. And on her YouTube, she's getting over 600,000 views on there. You take it from the YouTube. So I went into the back end of stuff that I have to show him that she has AdSense that's going straight to her website where she's selling a product or book or everything. So we went through, anybody knows the website and how Google AdSense, how it pays out. So I take them through everything and show them. And at the end of the day, she's making $220 a month. And what your first impression was of her was she's a stay-at-home mom who just bakes chocolate chip cookies. But just from baking that chocolate chip cookies and showing it in a creative way, was she able to pull people to her website, to her YouTube, into her funnel to go away and make 200. And that's not even me talking. I'm sure she gets speaking gigs and she does all these other affiliate programs. But that's just on the back end that we can see directly from the numbers where everything is, me being in the media, I could pull everything. Everything is public information. So you just have to know how to look at it, but just to show as a creator what she's pulling in. And she's probably scratching her says, I can't believe it's this easy. And it really is if you really understand it. So I just wanted to say that before I go, but I gotta go now, Jay. All right.
I love
All
that.
right,
10G is going to be sharing this information on the XPMentor platform, these strategies. Go ahead, 10G. We'll let you get on your flight. Appreciate you, man. Listen, think about that, Francois. He's saying you got a person that this is what they do. He said he brings in about 20 G's a month from just that one thing that he did. Did you catch that, Francois?
Absolutely. That's why I had to
Get the eyeballs up.
You just can't casually say that and then walk off, drop the mic and walk off. And he said it's not just for kids. Like people think that, all this stuff is just for kids to get on there and be creatives and stuff, with all this newer social media stuff. Anybody can do it. He was just telling you, anybody can do it. That means you. And you, Jay, have given them a platform to plug into people like 10G, right? And they can learn from them as an XP mentor. It's just amazing.
Yeah, we're going to have some fun, guys. So check out the link. We're doing an introductory price of $8 only a month, fully guaranteed. Come in, go in for a month and check out the content that's already there while we're ramping it up. It's kind of like the pre-launch of the whole deal, but that's going to be hundreds of dollars per month because when you got Forbes Riley saying, okay, I'm going to teach you how to pitch. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. We got Dan Pillow going. I've got 40 plus years of going up against the IRS. The man beat the IRS at the age of 18. He sued the IRS at the age of 18 and won. And he comes in the room. He says, I've been beating them ever since consistently. Why? Because he understands the tax code, those 4 million words in that code. He understands what's going on. All right, guys, we kind of set the whole tempo. Do y'all believe in us just setting up the tempo of the room and getting things flowing It's so much content that's happened. We've had over 1,100 people, over 1,100 people in this room. And we've got more XP mentors that are dropping in. We got Herman Marini. I know he's flown. He's going over to the incredible event there in Orlando with Uncle Don, the credit seminar here. And I just want to kind of get it open up because we got phenomenal speakers on the stage. We know y'all got some input to put back into this thing. Francois is going to kind of help me here as we get going back and forth. Again, this is Jay Noland. I'm in the middle here at the top next to Jarrett. Over to the right is our producer, our global media producer for today, Mr. Kirk Nugent. I'm speaking through him because I'm going through multiple platforms. I'm talking on Facebook. I'm talking on Twitter. I'm also talking on YouTube, and we're going to be promoting and doing the rebroadcast of that. But I just want to kind of hear how everybody's thinking. If you love to get in on this subject now, would you please flash your mic because we want to hear from you. And as soon as you're talking, you're going to be featured across the multi-platforms here. We got David DJ Justice. He went ahead and flashed. What are you thinking about it? Keep your shares concise, guys, because we want to get as many people to speak here as possible. We're going to be probably having the room open about another 30 minutes or so, but let's get this thing rocking. Going over to you, DJ Justice.
I just want to thank each and every one of you in particular, Mr. Noland, for all that you're doing for the Startup Club, for hosting XP Mentor. And the title of this room, we've gotten so many jewels, I don't even know where to begin, because to set your business up for success for 2023 and beyond, that started on January 1st of 2022. That started as we began to plan the process and plant the seeds that are now bearing fruit and growing as we continue to explosive growth throughout our businesses. And that's what I want you, each and every one of you, to take evaluation of your business, no matter whether you're just starting or whether you are in mid planning stage or you're in that momentum stage. This is that momentum building time. We're hitting Q4 of 2022. 3/4 of this year is done. Are you 3/4 of the way to your goals? Are you 3/4 of the way to your dreams, to what you've planned for, to what you set out for last year to have happen this year? Are you needing coaching? Are you needing resources? We've got tools available. Mr. Noland has a wealth of experience. Our other mentors and speakers on the stage, from Scott Harris, the Rhino, man, Robert Mailer has a wealth of experience. Miss Lena Noland, salute to the queen, has a wealth of experience. Rex Sykes in the building. Please take advantage of this time, this opportunity. Uncle Herman, I see you, my brother. 10G just dropped us a whole nother game. I am a content creator. I'm in the media production business. We all are in the media production business. Let's utilize this time. Let's utilize these resources. Let's apply. Pay attention to what's happening and apply it to your life, apply it to your business, and watch the success that is ready to unfold for you. My name is David DJ Justice Small, hailing from North Carolina, and I am complete.
Y'all make sure to give DJ a follow and get connected with him. This room is rocking. How do you get set up for business? So I'm telling you right now, it has to do with what you're doing now. I'm gonna give you just a quick little nugget. Make sure that you are focused on being intentional going into 2023. There's a book called The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. He says there's a thinking stuff in which all things are made, which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. A thought that is held in this substance produces the thing that is imagined by the thought. That means whatever we think and we hold it in this substance. What's the substance? It's the air. See, around us is life, is energy. It was amazing. I got a back message here from Ebony to Tora. She said, I was in your room. Yes, Ebony, would you talk about that real quick? You said you was in the room yesterday. Then I want to hear from Uncle Herman next. Ebony, what did you say about happened in the last 24 hours since you jumped in the XP Mentor room? Ebony, over to you.
Yes, first of all, I love you guys, and the humbleness, the love, and the authenticity in which you share is just mind-blowing to me. I love it. It's just contagious being here. But I was in the room, and I can't remember who was speaking yesterday, and he was saying, you asked the question, if you had an extra $2 million, would you give it away? And you were like proving a point. And someone else was speaking about, part of us becoming wealthier, better, stronger people is about turning around and helping people And that night, I was gifted a package to have my business budget and planning from a professional, amazing woman on this app. And I just thought it was because I was in this space, and energy is absolutely contagious. So you will see my face here quite often. And I just want to thank you for being you, and for all of you overcoming everything you've overcome to be great, amazing God in the flesh people. I mute my mic. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Ebony, for that sharing. Guys, every time y'all speak, our producer, he got you timed. He got you locked in. You immediately are going up on the social media channels. I see my sister, Ope, up in the building. Hopefully, Ope can come up and say a few words. She is an absolute expert in fashion and the metaverse. Ope, if you bless us, we'd appreciate it to hear what you got to say about how do you prepare going into 2023. I can see people getting plugged into XPMentor right now. We're getting messages of the new people that are signing up, that are coming in. But again, the stage is really open right now. We're going to flow after we go to Uncle Herman. Uncle Herman, you done flown from Louisiana to Florida. That must mean you getting ready for 2023. Uncle Herman, are you there to share?
Man, I am there. Can you hear me? I got the red bar here. Can you hear me clearly?
We hear you real clear. Go ahead, Uncle Herman. What you got to say? This man right here. Look at his bio. Matter of fact, because we're streaming, Uncle Herman, while I'm talking to you, I'm talking through my man Kirk up here at the top, because we're multi-streaming. He's our producer, our global media producer today. I'm talking on Facebook. I'm talking on YouTube. I'm talking on Twitter. And so would you give people a little bit of your backdrop so they understand the credibility? And I don't want you to come in light because you've been flying. You're an XP mentor, so you got to come in hot, Uncle Herman. Give them some of you.
Man, listen, thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay, and Miss Noland as well. I am so appreciative to be on this stage. XPMentor is the bomb diggity when I was coming up. So a little background on me. I have been fortunate and blessed to be honored by the Small Business Administration for Business of the Year. And then right before that, my governor of Louisiana gave me and my businesses the same thing, Small Business of the Year for Louisiana. I have also been fortunate to obtain 7 college degrees with honors, attending schools such as Berkeley, Ohio, and other small colleges. So I met Jay on this app, and I'm going to tell you this here. Over a year ago, our paths have crossed, and nothing better could have happened. He was basically recruiting me to be an XP mentor because of business credit, personal credit, and funding, right? He watched, followed, and he's saying that this has to be brought to the masses because I created a system. I'm a systems engineer. So I created a system for people to be able to get funding really, really quickly. I got funding in about 2 weeks, and that's primarily through leveraging their personal credit into their business credit, and then you can obtain credit. A lot of people don't know it is the law that many banks have to give small businesses a certain amount of money. So all we do is prepare you to go to those banks or multiple banks to obtain that money. So I've been very fortunate with this system. Jay had an opportunity to look at it up, down, under the hood, sideways, and he said that he wanted me and this system to be brought to XP Mentor to help millions and millions of people to obtain funding for their businesses. So that's in a nutshell. I'm up here to add any type of value. It is such a blessing to see Jay put a program together to where you get almost 20 mentors when it's over and said and done, and you get mentors from the top fields that you need to do to be a super duper entrepreneur. I mean, mindset. I mean, he has somebody for accounting. He has somebody for business plan. He has somebody for marketing. And then also he just added funding to the mix and much, much more. So for only $8 a month, I mean, I've never even seen anything. I'm a dean of a business credit university, but I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing right now is absolutely revolutionary. So my hat is off to you, Jay, and I am so proud to be an XP mentor. I'm telling each and every one of you all that you should be signing up to get this type of mentorship. I've paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to the top universities, and none of this was taught there. Not one single digit of how do these things is taught in a traditional university. You can ask me with 7 degrees. I'm telling you, business, economics, finance, none of this is taught that Jay has put together. So again, thanks, my brother, and an outstanding job.
I gotta have you just chime in on this because we're talking about how to get set up for your business, how to set your business up for success in 2023 and beyond. So this is specifically for people, Herman, that are entrepreneurs. And if they're not an entrepreneur, then why not? We need you to be an entrepreneur. The earth needs you to be an entrepreneur to create more opportunity, create more freedom, to be able to stabilize families. That's important. But I want to make sure that people get some extreme value out of a financial expert, a personal and business credit expert, because this has a whole hell of a lot to do with how a person is going to be able to go into 2023. So I'm sitting here today, Uncle Herman, I'm sitting here at the beginning of September. If a person gets plugged in to your training and the training that you're bringing to XP Mentor, and let's say that person's got bad credit. It's almost everybody you look at these days, more than likely they got bad credits. Very few people's got good credit. So we got to deal with that, because that personal credit is going to roll over into your business credit. So say today is September. If they put their head down now and say they got bad credit or marginal credit, or they got great credit, but they don't know business credit, Herman, how can you help them through the training of XP Mentor get their ass prepared to rock in 2023? What you got to say about that, Herman?
Oh, Jay, listen, man, he's speaking my love language right here, right? So it's not as difficult as many people think, right? So don't be in despair. What he said is absolutely right. Tens and tens of millions of people have some type of derogatory stuff on their credit, and then they think they can't move forward. But that is not so. The law, the United States of America made laws for people like us that says that if something on your file is not 100% correct, I mean the price, the name, or anything else, it needs to come off the file. How do I know? Because we've helped thousands of people to clear up those blemishes and then put them back in the game. Me personally, my credit was outstanding, absolutely outstanding. And one of my administrators was not paying my bills. They got medically sick. They stopped paying the bills for my automobiles, for the vehicle, my American Express business card. Those things popped up on my credit months later. Later she passed away, but that didn't. The bureaus didn't want to hear anything. So I got with a company. I later bought the company that removed those derogatories off of my file, and I was able to access millions of dollars worth of credit. So we already have the system in place, Jay. The system says that they go in and use the law.
Herman, did you say you were able to access millions of dollars already came to you?
You listen, so you are looking at my bio, you'll see that I've got 1.2 million in equipment finance, and that's just equipment. I ain't even talking about lines of credit from the banks and everything else. But if you have blemishes on your credit, they're not going to give you 2 cents. They're going to kick you out of the bank. So there are laws on the book that allow my team to go in and remove those derogatory remarks and then optimize your personal credit. And then from there, you leverage it into the business world. That's where the money is. On the business side, they give you way more money than on the personal side. And those business loans don't show up on the personal side if you do it the correct way. So once you do that, once you optimize your personal credit and the team helps you, I've trained a team that helps you every step of the way, right? I'm not just telling you like a preacher on the pulpit, go do this and go do that. I'm telling you that, listen, join XP Mentor, get access to this to where you're able to leverage your personal credit into the business world. Once you get the business built out, they will give you money. The banks have to give you money. Francois is on, so he's an underwriter, so he can attest to this here. They have to stay in business. They have to loan that money out. So we are putting you in a position to optimize your personal credit, leverage it into the business world, and go get funding for whatever business that you existing business, what you want to do, Turo, Airbnb, trucking, it does not matter. You will have the capital to do that. So that's what we do, Jay. We help you raise that capital by using the laws of the United States of America in your favor so you can now be an entrepreneur. So I love the class. I love what you're doing, and I love XP Men because they're dedicated to making sure you be the best entrepreneur you most possibly can, because it benefits everyone for you to do so. So that's the steps to doing that. And I'm going to leave y'all with this here. If you want to start the new year right, you need to be able to look like a business. What I mean is that you want to make sure you have a commercial address. You want to make sure you have a phone tied to that address that's listed in 411. You want to make sure you have a website. You want to make sure that website shows up in social media places, because Jay has a business of marketing that does that. You want to make sure you have an email, not one of those Gmails, Ymails, occupation license, you with EIN, and you listed in good stands in the Secretary of State. Those few steps will help you to be able to leverage to go get the maximum amount of funding, Jay. So that's what we're going to do in XP Mentor. We're going to make sure that you are situated, set up correctly to get the maximum amount of funding. So thanks. I enjoy being part of XP Mentor, and we're here to help you every step of the way, to include credit and funding. All right. So thanks, Jay.
Yeah, this is awesome. Your stair step into that, guys, is to click that link at the top, $8 a month. You're now in the funnel. And inside the funnel, this is what's so awesome about it. It's this board of XP mentors that are watching your growth. So as we drop content, like right now, Jarrett Albritton, as you see him there to the left, this is Jay Noland. I'm in the middle. I'm speaking through our global producer. We're multicasting across Facebook, Twitter, YouTube right now. So we're speaking through our producer today as we gear up to create so much exposure around the globe. But I love this financial literacy going in. Let's stop being financially ignorant. How many of y'all think that's important? To stop being financially ignorant. If they didn't teach us this stuff from grades 1 through 12, that's why we got to do a room like this. That's why I'm so glad that Jarrett Albritton, and y'all make sure everybody here is following Jarrett. Make sure everybody's following our moderators here, because these folks here are going to shortcut you on all the stuff you didn't learn in school. Who'd like to chime in on that? I'm just going to we're popcorning. Uncle Herman, you got something to say before we go over to Michelle? What you got, Herman?
So I'm going to tell you this, and I'm not flexing, right? When I tell you all that I got 7 degrees, those degrees are in business, right? They're in business, finance, economics, and what have you. I've had more professors at some of the top universities in the world, and it took somebody that was totally uneducated, right? Didn't even have a high school diploma, that showed me this method of being able to leverage my personal credit into the business world and access capital. So this is not definitely taught in high schools, most definitely not at some of the best Ivy League colleges in this country. It is not taught. So what you're about to learn in XP Mentor, only a handful of people in the country really know about this, how to be able to leverage this. And that's why I'm telling you all that you'll have to be a part of this, because my brother Jay is bringing in people into this program to make your life much simpler. As the other gentleman said before, it's the best thing in the world if you have a guide or a mentor through this process. There's nothing beats using other people's experiences and you not bumping your head to it. So Jay is absolutely right. This isn't taught anywhere. I had to learn it on the street instead of in the Ivy League towers. And so now you got an opportunity to learn it inside of a program, a regimented program. Man, my hat is off to you all. And thanks again, Jay.
I got to say time out. You know, like when you're playing ball, they go, Francois, we got to say time out. This information is so hot. Francois, do you think people should be sharing this? Can you share, reset the room, Francois, and tell people how to share this out?
Absolutely. And you already know, Coach, everybody. Listen, watch this. I'm going to do something real quick before I share the room. I'm going to pick somebody randomly out here, and I'm going to pick out Miss Pamela. Miss Pamela, if you're there, flash your microphone. Okay, Miss Pamela. Okay, she's there. Miss Pamela, I want to ask you a question real quick. Do you, by any chance, subscribe to any apps like Netflix, Hulu, things like that? Do you have any of that, Miss Pamela?
You know what? I'm probably a bad example for that because I don't watch TV.
That's okay. That's okay. Watch this, though. Watch this. We know probably the average person in America, though, has probably 3, 4, 5, 6 different television apps, right? Would you say that's probably correct, Miss Pamela?
I totally agree. I'm not the norm in that situation, but yes, I agree with you.
Neither am I. Now, watch this, Miss Pamela. How much you think them apps cost per month to sit up there and watch TV, the boob tube, as a lot of people call it, right? How much y'all think an app is? I would imagine that they run. How much you think they are, Miss Pamela?
I'm thinking probably close to $200.
Okay, so Miss Pamela, you right. You out the loop. I'm talking about per app, right? They probably gonna cost somebody on a month-to-month basis about anywhere from $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10, right? If you get the premium of it, it might cost you a little bit more. So I want you to understand what's going on here right now. You're in the startup club. This is how to set your business up for success with XP Mentor, right? What we want you to do is share this out with as many people as possible, right? Because we're disseminating information in here by some powerhouse people that you might not necessarily be able to connect into without, this type of app, right? And what we're asking is that you just give us a share. Every person share with somebody and bring somebody else into this room, and then click on this XP Mentor at the top, because you can either spend your money on these applications that are going to put movies and television shows on your TV that are not going to add anything to your bottom line. It's not going to help you and show you how to set your business up for success in 2023 and beyond. And I'm talking about, this is probably going to be less than those applications, $8 a month. Did y'all hear that? Josh, did you hearing this? Mr. Josh Payne, who is in finance, who has dedicated his life to, helping people understand how they can make breakthroughs. And man, Josh, let me ask you, Josh, $8 a month, you got access to a person like Dr. Forbes Riley, Jay Noland. You got access to people like Herman over here, who is killing it when it comes to teaching people how to do funding and things. You got Mr. 10G, Mr. Collin, who is, a journalist with TMZ. Like, why wouldn't somebody want to pay $8 and get access to that much information?
Francois, absolutely, man. Thanks so much. And Jay, and so great to see you, and Scott and Lena, and what an amazing couple of shares that I've heard since coming in here. And to speak to your point, Francois, I posted a reel on my Instagram the other day, and it was such you wouldn't think much of it, and it all of a sudden jumps up to like 14,000 views, and I go, wow, why is that the case? And basically what it was I was walking by a set of bleachers. My son was playing a tournament out at a complex here in Silicon Valley that has like 50 fields at it. It was a set of bleachers. And the interesting part of the bleachers was, at the back of the bleachers, there was all of this red tape on the back side of the top level of the bleachers, with a bunch of foam wrapped around it. And I thought, isn't this interesting? I thought to myself immediately, I said, you know what? People learn from their mistakes. And see, somebody learned from their mistake and hit their head on that metal part of that bleacher enough times. They said, to hell with that. I'm going to make sure somebody else doesn't hit their head on there. And so they wrap it with red foam and red tape. See, and when I walked by, consequently, I was learning from somebody else's mistake. They say people learn from their mistakes, but smart people learn from other people's mistakes. And so I've always looked at mentorship like Francois, if you and I were walking down a dirt road and we came to these signs that said danger, 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 stop, 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 minefield ahead. And we look at each other and go, shit, I ain't walking through that minefield. But then all of a sudden we hear this whistle, like, and we look up, and Jay Noland is standing on the other side of that minefield. And Jay Noland goes, don't worry, I got it. I'm going to tell you exactly where to step. Just follow my directions. Now, Francois, if you and I were to try and walk through that minefield, we'd come out of that sucker a bloody mess. But with somebody on the other side who's already been through it, they can guide us so that we come out unscathed from that minefield and can accomplish the goals at a much faster rate. And so when I think about that, and I look at the platform that Jay's put together and is just amazing, XP Mentor, and for $8 a month, I mean, it's really not about the money. It's about the fact that you can plug in to a bunch of people who've already done it and can teach you how to do it, so you can do it faster without coming out a bloody mess, because you're learning from the expertise they have from the mistakes they've already made. So they've got the big red tape and foam on the back of those bleachers so that you don't hit your head where they've hit their head. So hopefully that makes sense. Francois, I'll turn back to you, buddy.
It definitely makes sense. And I love the fact that you use that as an example, because now how intentional are you going to be? How focused are you going to be on that mentor if you take this as serious as if you had to walk through a minefield and be guided by, through it by somebody like a Jay Noland, a Dr. Forbes Riley, or Lena Noland, Rex Sykes, and all these other people that are up here that's such powerhouses. I bet you your ass would be focused and you would get it in gear quickly. And so this is what XP Mentor is going to do for you. It's going to put all these people in place, and they whistling at you like, hey, we over here. Now listen to me. Do this, do this, do this. Now you got your pitch down correctly, and you can tell people that Dr. Forbes Riley helped you get your pitch down. And now you can tell the world, I got it. Man, this is some powerful stuff. Jay, you done put together something powerful here, brother.
Hey, man, we got this thing rolling, Francois, man. Keep it flowing. Who else wants to share? Francois, running here for about the next few minutes, my man.
I got you. All right. All right. I see my sister Felice Sizzle, Miss Felicia Jeffries is flashing a microphone. Come on, I need you to come in on hot and give us everything you got. Because listen now, y'all, if y'all haven't tapped in with Felicia, y'all need to tap in with her. She's one of the top business coaches in the country. I'm telling you, she's a paralegal. And so she looks at it from a different aspect. And she can get your business together. She once told me that 10 out of 10 times, whenever she has a business consultation with a business, 10 out of 10 times, y'all, she always finds something that they can do better within that business to streamline it so they can make more money or save more money. So, Felicia, what do you think about this subject matter? How to set your business up for success in 2023 and beyond?
Oh my goodness, Fred Sizzle, that's my boy right there, y'all. I gotta give him his flowers before I drop these gems on y'all. I met Francois on Clubhouse early last year. I've learned so much from this man. I've learned about spiritual stuff. He told me about mushrooms one time. I was like, no, Francois, I'm not going to be able to do the mushrooms. This last time I was on life support, I told him I'm a mushroom eating soldier, boy. Look, I've learned so much. And I want to thank him for imparting and sharing that knowledge with me because he didn't have to do it. It's made me a better person. You got to know and understand who you're in the room with, everybody in the listening audience. This is what I want to say. I've done so much in business and helping businesses and even helping my own business to grow. I believe first and foremost that whatever knowledge we have, it's provided to us by the Most High. He gives us what we have to have in order to succeed and help others in life. So I have to give the Most High his flowers. I also want to say I wrote a book about how to obtain grant money. There's a lot of business owners. They're like, I know this free money is out here, but I don't know if I'll get it, so they're not confident enough to apply for it. The grants have deadlines, so the deadlines end up being passed. I looked at that. I became a grant writer. I went to college. I got the certification, and I tested it out on my own business. And if I tell you, every grant that I applied for, we received. Everything. Every last one of them. I got the receipts to prove it. Now, put the knowledge in the book. Now, this is what I want to share with you. If you're going to obtain grant money, if you're going to apply for it, your business is going to have to be set up properly. Grantors check business credit reports. How do I know? I check my business credit reports for inquiries. Grantors check that information. Now, what does it mean to have your business set up properly? Uncle Herman talked about it a few minutes ago. You need to have a real corporate address. Some of you might say, well, I don't have the money to afford an office. You don't have to. You don't have to have a whole retail space or an office. You can have a virtual office address with a dedicated desk. I talk about that in the book. Also, don't use your cell phones, your personal cell phones, for your business. That's a red flag. email addresses. It doesn't matter if your company is called Regina's Dog Grooming and you have Regina's Dog Grooming at gmail.com. That's a red flag. You'll not only be turned down for grants, but also contracts and loans. Remember that. There's over 25 red flag issues that you must look at in your business. But if you don't know what you don't know, right? And that's why the experts are here. Now, if you want to have access to that book, the website is in my bio. I'm only doing a limited amount of those books, and then they're gone forever, y'all. Francois has one of my books. Francois, what you think about it?
So do. And listen, I got that book because I want y'all to flash your mic if you know any other grant book that tells you how to get grants for profit businesses, not nonprofits, because they don't even tell you how to. If you're a nonprofit, that book is, not the book for you necessarily. But I'm talking about for profit. Miss Felicia Jeffries over here going to show you step by step how you can get money for your for-profit business. And this is grant money. So you ain't got to go through no credit check. You ain't got to go through no red tape like that to be able to get this money, and you don't have to pay it back. I know if you own a business right now and you hear me, I know you would love to get some money that you don't have to pay back. So you're going to want to tap into that because it's a powerful tool that you can utilize. Now, listen, we got this thing rocking, man, and I love it that we got so many powerhouse people in the building. What I want to do, this is still popcorn style, like Coach said. So if you got something that you want to say, I want you to chime in. But specifically, if anybody has any questions that they want to ask one of these powerhouse moderators up here, I want to give you a chance to ask a question. So flash your microphone if you got a question. And I know y'all got to have some questions, man. We got too many powerhouse people in here for nobody not to have no questions. All right. Well, I've given y'all a chance. And if you're in the audience, go ahead and leave something in the chat if you got any questions about any of these things also.
I
But listen, watch this.
I saw a question come in the chat, Francois.
Okay.
Kendall asked, how to, is the information, how does it come in videos, reading material on XP Mentor? We drop that on video. So we got weekly sessions that we drop. When you come in, so like right now, there's 12 XP mentors. There will soon be 20. Each mentor also has additional courses that are higher level courses you have access to. But we give every single person at least one module, which can be up to about an hour each. So that's an additional 12 to 20 hours of additional video content that a person gets just for that $8 a month. And then we're dropping reading and audio material in there as well. So you're able to get it from the video, you're able to get audio, and you're able to get it in a reading material. And we're going to continue to add to the library. What I love about that question, thank you, Kendall and Francois, what I love about that question is that that library goes all the way back. So if you came in today, it's not that you're starting today with the content. You get all the content from the beginning. Like Dr. Forbes Riley, she's already dropped bombs in there about how do you present some important things about entrepreneurship. I've already dropped bombs in there about how do you handle objections. How many of us think it's important to be able to handle objections when it comes to sales? How to overcome trauma. How to be the executive director of your mind, of your life. I mean, Lily Wayne just dropped one in there a couple of days ago. I'm like, dang. And so Jarrett's recording one now about the metaverse. So he got a course, but he's also dropping weekly content. Dan Pilla, he's about to drop. I don't know, he's already got them in there. Francois, Dan Pilla's already got 2 courses in there. Business tax mastery. If you own a business and you're not listening to Dan Pilla, you playing Russian roulette, in my opinion. Your accountant, and I don't want to be disrespectful to any accountants, any CPAs, any tax attorneys, but almost everyone, no, I'm going to tell you, every one of them need to take Dan Pilla's courses and be a part of his membership so that they are completely compliant, because a lot of the issues coming to Dan are people that have worked through accountants, and accountants are so busy doing the awesome job they do at keeping the numbers together for folks, but they're not always completely up to speed with all these tedious laws. So that's a lot of things that happens with the mentorship that a lot of folks miss. And it's just powerful, Francois, to be able to have that. And I just appreciate you helping, Francois, with the room. Y'all make sure to give Francois a follow. Again, this is Jay Noland. I'm over in the top right-hand corner, but I'm speaking through our executive producer, global producer of media of what we're doing today, Mr. Kirk. He's underneath Jarrett there. And what we're bringing to you is, how do you set your business up for success in 2023 and beyond? It's just an awesome stage. I'd love to be able to get some more shares here. I see we got Javante up on the mic. We got Micah up here. We've got Patricia. We got Miss Toy. Who would love to be able to chime in and provide some value here before we get this room wrapped up here shortly? Who else would love to be able to chime so we can hear from you? Well, flash your mic if you're on the stage. Okay, we're going to go to here. We've got Michelle Cox, and then we'll go over to Jerry. Michelle, what you got? You got a question? You got a comment?
Got a comment. Number one, Jay, Jarrett, you guys are phenomenal. I've been following this club since I got here pretty much last year. I've been following Jarrett, and he's brought me into some great rooms. And what you guys are doing is phenomenal for business. I'm a small business owner. I write books for kids. And every time I get here, I get some gems. And I just want to thank you. And that's my comment, and I'm out.
There goes that Space Jam right there. Hey, listen, Michelle, you always the bomb. Thank you so much for your attitude, for always bringing positive energy. That's what we got to really flow on going into 2023. And now we got Mr. Jerry Tucker next. Jerry, you up?
Yeah, for to set my 2023 up right now, I'm currently getting prepared to launch some new products and building a better website. But right now, I got a spreadsheet and I'm selling everything that does not serve me. So I have a spreadsheet of how much money I can make selling it on the cheap and on the high end. And I went to the marketplace to price everything accordingly. So I'm just cash flowing everything I have to come into 23 with a bang and just come out with cash flow and bring it low so I can make 2023 go without a hitch. And I'm starting today. Back to you, Jay.
I love he said he's making a spreadsheet. That's being intentional, man. Don't miss that. That's nuggets. When you catch that, I'm like, oh, I would take that. If I was listening, I'm like, I'm going to make a spreadsheet. Get organized. What about all the websites that you wrote down and said, oh, I'm going to go back and check that out? Get you an Excel spreadsheet out and make a list of those websites that you might be looking at something on Facebook or something on Instagram. You go, oh, I like to look at that, but you get busy. Well, make you a spreadsheet. Don't just put it in your bookmarks of your favorites, because sometimes it gets buried. Go ahead and categorize it on your spreadsheet. One of the core things you can do to get ready for 2023, I'm always going to be a beast on this. Again, this is Jay Noland, the top right-hand corner. I'm speaking to my man Kirk, our global media production manager today. Listen, if you get your subconscious mind, if you learn to master your subconscious mind, most of the stuff that you need to get taken care of is going to quickly come to order. Quickly. I want you to understand how important what I said is. And so I put a training up at the top called 7 Steps to Unlocking Your Subconscious Mind. If you're on the broadcast, you watch this on the stream, it's 7stepmiracle.com. www.7stepmiracle.com. Very important that you understand this. From the ages of 0 to 7, our subconscious programming is primarily set up to run us for the rest of our lives. Now, you got two minds. You've got your subconscious mind, and then you've got your conscious mind. So your conscious mind is the things you're kind of like thinking of right in front of you, the decisions that you're making right in front of you. But that's only 5% of the power of the powerhouse that's running your mind. 5%. The other part of the powerhouse running your mind is that 95%, which is the subconscious. The subconscious is what's running every area of your body. If you snatch it out of you, you just collapse, you die. Your subconscious mind, it houses your immune system. Whoever heard of that, right? Your subconscious mind is running every area of your body. And here's the issue, that the reason why this training I do is so important. And a lot of times people come to me and go, where do I start? What should I do? How should I do it? Why should I do it? I say, stop. We got to deal with your subconscious first. Let's go to the foundations. We probably got to go correct your 0 to 7. Most people are walking around in the wrong matrix. Y'all remember the movie The Matrix? It said, which pill you want to pick? Well, guess what? We swallowed the wrong damn pill, not even of our choice. It got shoved down our throats. Well, here's why. We didn't get to choose our mother, our father, our grandparents, our aunts, uncles, cousins. We didn't get to choose none of those people. From 0 to 7, how much influence did you have on that? So what I did is I did a $295 training. It's a it's a professionally produced training. It comes with an entire workbook that you're going to work through the training. It's 1 hour video training. That's why I call it a 7-step miracle, because you're going to go, damn, in an hour, I was able to help fix a lot of this stuff that's been going on with me for decades. I've been hearing this over and over. People going, damn. Because as you work through it, you're working through the workbook, you see the 7 steps you got to do to unlock your subconscious mind. So the number one thing I would do if I were y'all in this room, I click that link at the top. I'm charging $4.95 for that. People say, why are you doing that right now? We plan to put 1 million people on the XPMentor platform, 1 million. And so what we're doing now is proof of concept. We're working to get as many testimonials as possible. Y'all got me fired up over here. I'm smacking the mic and everything. So we're going to get as many people giving us testimonials and feedback, but it's only $5. How many of y'all heard that before? Give me $5. $5, less than $5. I wanted to make it less than, so you really had no excuse. You go through the training, fully guaranteed, by the way. You go through and go, I didn't do nothing for me, which I can't see how in the hell it wouldn't. Then you go give me my money back. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to go through it with the expectation that I was looking for something. I've been praying. I've been hoping. I've been wishing. Many of y'all been praying. Well, guess what? More than likely, the creator of all is not going to strike the side of your car with a bolt of lightning and say, go do it now. It's going to come in situations and positions, and you all of a sudden going, I didn't even plan on coming into that room. And now I'm in that room, and damn, I hear this. So go to that link while you have an opportunity, 7stepmiracle.com, and go through that training and do yourself the greatest favor ever. Get control of your subconscious mind. Get that 95% of your mind in check, intact, so that you can go out here and rock it for the rest of this year. So you're going to learn stuff you can use today. More than likely, you're going to be transformed after the end of an hour. I can't wait to get the feedback. I got people giving me feedback. And if you're up on the stage, you've been through it, y'all know what I'm talking about. Feel free to share. But guys, we're going to wind this room down. It's been a powerhouse room. I just want to thank everybody who's been able to share, to be able to input. Look at what we've had. We've had almost 1,400 people in this room in a couple hours, 1,400 people, and all the rebroadcasts that are about to happen. Now, I want you to go ahead and grab the link. If y'all can put that, Scott or Lena, somebody put that link, Scott, Lena, over in the chat.
I put it in the chat already. It's already in the chat. Okay, so 7-Step Miracle, in case you missed it, it's in the chat, because I'm going to post another link here that's very important, very, very important, because tomorrow, what we're doing is we're ripping, guys. We're going 6 days a week in the XP Mentor Club. So I want you to follow our club. I want to make sure here that we get you plugged in the right way. I'm learning all the stuff. I'm continually learning. How many of y'all are continually learning? That's me too. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put our club up in the chat, because you need to be a part of the XP Mentor Club so you don't miss this fire that we're bringing 6 days a week. If y'all think I'm playing, go in there and already look at the replays. We've got thousands and thousands of people that's come through that club, and we just launched it. So go to XP Mentor. I just plugged the club up at the top. Click on that link and become a member of that club. And if you got any way to do notifications, make sure you got notifications. Now, I'm sitting here in the middle at the top of the stage there. Click on my face. Put the bell on always. Click on Jarrett's face.
and put the bell next to his, that when you click on his face on his profile, put the bell on always. I click on Scott's face and Lena's face and do the exact same, because they're all, and also Robert, because every time we open up these rooms, you guys will get notifications that we are going live and we're going in and we're bringing fire and we're going to feature you. We just launched our podcast, XPMentor Podcast. And so if you got a business, ask some of the people that's been through the room. They come in that room and we say, hey, how do people get a hold of you? How do people work with you? And then it's going to be rebroadcast and we're going to be getting feedback. You watch. We're going to start getting feedback of, man, somebody heard from a show from a week or 2 or 3 weeks ago, a month ago, and they decided to come and plug in and do business with me. So make sure that you get plugged in to the XP Mentor. I'm going to drop it over in the comments as well. So that's going over in the comments. That's how you join the XP Mentor Club. Now, tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, still rocking over here. So 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we're going to do a room. All right. Now, here's the title of the room. And y'all tell me if y'all think this is critical. Here I go. I'm going to post this link at the top, and then we'll go for closing comments, and then we'll get back to getting busy. And I'm going to stay in the Clubhouse streets all throughout the day because I'm putting in work. So tomorrow we're doing a room. It's called Entrepreneurs Are More Necessary Now Than Ever. Does anybody on the stage got any comment on that? Flash your mic if you like to be able to tap in and go, entrepreneurs are more needed now than ever. DJ Justice, what you got? Then Felicia.
We are in a time, thank you so much, but we are in a time right now. It's been said over the years that the entrepreneurship was the backbone of the economy. Right now, it's the backbone of the world. We have an opportunity and an obligation to create for the betterment of the world, not just for ourselves and our own financial gain, but those that are coming behind us, our children, our legacy, trying to figure out what is it that they will do. I'm having a conversation with my oldest son at this very moment while we're listening to this XP Mentor room in the startup club to figure out what's next for him. As a young man of 18 years old, what can he do right now to propel his future? Not just to follow in my footsteps, but to blaze his own path. We are responsible, and we must do everything in our power to set a trail, set an example, to be the light that we want to see in this world. My name is DJ Justice. I am complete. Thank you.
That's ripping. What you got, Felicia?
This is what I have, and I please nobody take offense to this. I didn't take offense to it. It actually put some fire under my feet when I heard it. January, the week of the Australian Open 2019, I was in Australia, and I was riding in an Uber, and my driver was an Indian man. I had not seen any black-owned businesses. I walked the blocks. I met the business owners. There were none. I didn't see black people. I was in Melbourne, Australia. I didn't see any until I went to the Australian Open. I was in the VIP section and I saw two, and it was me. I asked my driver, I said, where are the black business owners? He said, oh, they don't like doing business with the blacks here. I said, what? He said, yeah, blacks don't know how to do business. I said, huh? Is that so? Now, in 2016, I had already established the biz credit movement. I knew there was a problem in the community with business owners not knowing about business credit. When I came back from Australia, I put my system together even tighter. I reached out to as many business owners as possible to tell them, hey, you need to know to set your business up right. You don't have to bootstrap. You can have business credit. Entrepreneurs are needed, especially in our community. Less than 4% of black business owners have employees, have over 4 employees. We need to raise that number. We need to raise that number. This program is going to be so helpful. It's time to get rid of the solo mentality and have the team mentality. When you can provide jobs, you're taking care of others' families and the community. If you notice, a lot of companies, larger companies, are filing bankruptcy. Regal Cinema filed for bankruptcy. Was it the CEO? You flash your mics if you know what I'm talking about. You all know what I'm talking about? No mics flashed. Okay.
You talking about Regal Theaters that filed for
That
bankruptcy,
is
right?
this. Okay, there you go. What I'm getting at is this. When one dies, another comes to life. Use this opportunity to bring your businesses to life. Entrepreneurship opens doors. If I wasn't an entrepreneur, I'd be on someone's job miserable. I don't like being stuck in between four walls in somebody's office. It's not in my personality. You all may be the same way. What type of freedom are you looking for? Are you looking for free time to travel? More time with your children? As an entrepreneur, it's more about what the money affords you to be able to do. I'm here now about to cook some vegan Salisbury steak for me and my son. If I were not an entrepreneur, I'd be coming home after being stuck in DFW traffic for over an hour and a half, tired, dreading having to fix dinner. Think about your future. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity that may not come around for another few years. Take the opportunity. You have the guides here in the room. Don't just use this app in this room for entertainment purposes only. Share it with a loved one if you're not interested yet. This is Felicia. I'm done talking. Oh, and I know some of you all asked about my website to purchase the book.
Yeah, how do they get that book, Felicia? How do they get that book? Make sure that's over in the chat.
I'm going to put it in the chat. It's www.feliciajeffries.club. Go get the book before they sell out, y'all.
So y'all check her out. If you tap on her, FeliciaJeffries.club, you can grab that book. And you said something key, Francois. You said, show you how to get grants. That's free money that you don't have to pay back, even if you're for profit. So we're here in the Startup Club. This is Jay Noland here. I'm in the middle of the screen talking through our global media producer today, Mr. Kirk Nugent. This is powerful what we're sharing. My man, my partner right here next to me, Jarrett Albritton. If you click on his face, make sure you give him a follow. He runs this Startup Club. He's the main leader of the Startup Club. If you look at him, he's got over 75,000 followers on this particular club. The Startup Club has 800. Look, if you click on it, what are we looking at? Everybody make sure you join the club. You're looking at 883,000 members. We've already had going close to 1,500 people in this room in a few hours because of the power of what this club has been able to build. Now, what you heard Jarrett say is we're getting ready to duplicate that. And our goal is to do even more, to create even more impact and feed off of each other with the Startup Club. We want to do that over in XPMentor. So make sure that you're registered, or I should say RSVP for the event tomorrow, because I'm telling you, we're going to rip tomorrow about entrepreneurs are more necessary now than ever. I've been an entrepreneur for almost 27 years. I've done business in 90 countries, approximately 90 countries. I've spoken in 20 plus countries doing seminars. We're going to teach people how to do a global business? Do you want to know how to be an entrepreneur, to work for yourself, to be able to make money in your pajamas? We did a room the other day where we showed people how to make money from their pajamas on a global level. Go back to the XP Mentor Club, listen to the replay. We're showing people how to go get this thing done. So very, very important that you get plugged in, you watch what we're doing, you be involved with the impact, because we are making a difference. We are making an impact with what we're doing. Get registered tomorrow. I want to give everybody one last chance before we get plugged in here to get yourself locked in with XP Mentor. You don't want to miss this opportunity. We now got sponsorship opportunities available with XP Mentor. This is how fast this is growing. We got people that are saying, listen, I've got a surplus in my life. I want to create a sponsorship opportunity, and they're sponsoring other people. Anybody that sponsors 20 people to an annual membership with XP Mentor, we make them a gold sponsor, and then we feature them on a website, and then we give them global exposure. So anybody else would like to share before we get out of here? I see that we had Kendall. She's been commenting over in the chat. Kendall, you got anything you'd like to share before we get out of here, sis?
Yeah, it's more of a question, and I wanted to thank you earlier for answering my question so quickly. I was driving, so it was super valuable. First time here. Super familiar with Clubhouse. I own a wealth management practice. We're part own it, and it's strong enough and big enough now to where I plan on going solo in 2023. So I'm trying to set everything up to where I can optimize just my level of efficiency. You know, as a business owner, I think we tend to prepare too much, but one of the areas I want to explore into is the metaverse. And I was wondering, you mentioned it earlier in the conversation that I forget who the speaker was because I was driving, but with branding, you can bring a business onto the metaverse and they can have a storefront. Is that something we should focus on branding first? Or can we just kind of go full throttle into the metaverse and have, I guess it's not a brick and mortar location, but an office there?
I believe, sis, and Jarrett is the expert next to me, but he's actually in the studio filming on the metaverse, and he'll probably be answering that question inside of his course. But my suggestion, and I know that there's some there's some experts up in here, but run them alongside. What we're doing right now, Kendall, is we're running it alongside. So as we are doing our regular normal business, we're also curtailing it into Web3 and the metaverse at the same time. Does that make sense?
No, that's exactly what I was wondering. Do I need to spend, thousands of dollars on marketing first, or can I just do both simultaneously?
Just run alongside and then and do it, because see, the metaverse and Web3 is still such a big mystery to most people. So you're definitely going to want to be plugged in to what we're doing here with XP Mentor, because Jarrett, they do a room every single week. And here in the Startup Club, where they go deep dive. We bring in our experts inside the Startup Club, but Jarrett's going to be answering that specifically inside of XP Mentor to be able to encourage you. So we love to have you be a part of the community, Kendall. We appreciate you being here.
No, I would love that. Thank you for bringing me on the stage and answering my question.
All right. Great question. Great question. It's been a powerhouse share today, guys. Make sure you get plugged in. XPmentor.com, $8 a month. And that's about 26 cents a day. And as soon as you go in, you're going to know it's lit. As soon as you go inside, you're going to know it's lit. We're getting ready to drop a super surprise. And y'all tell me if y'all think that y'all want this. I want to see this over in the chat. Hey, guys, we got 94 shares. Let's do one more round of shares to get us over 100 before we close out the room. So if you have not yet shared the room, go down at the bottom, right there where it says 94, the arrow pointing up. Just share it out to Clubhouse. That way they'll even know in the replays that this was the bomb room and you were a part of it. Let's make sure to get it up. Let's get it up. Let's get it up. There it goes. How many of y'all think it would be awesome for somebody that spent 27 years, approximately 27 years, studying and understanding the law of attraction, manifestation, mastering the subconscious mind, a master of the book Think and Grow Rich, quickly becoming a master of the book The Science of Getting Rich? How many of y'all think it will be something good for me to drop a mini manifestation course, full in video, that you can stop, you can rewind, you can go back about right at 30 minutes. How many of y'all think that this will be something you want? Over in the comments, would y'all like, for me personally, from what I've learned, take my 27 years, take me going from the hog farm and expanding from the hog farm to doing business in 90 countries, speaking in 20 plus countries, studying and from an ex-professional athlete, using that discipline, which is off the charts, studying manifestation. I mean, intentional. I've studied it. I did a course. It's called Mini Manifestation Course. And I recorded it via audio. But what I did was, because I could have done it straight in the studio video, me talking to you like I'm talking to people on the stream. But what I did is I brought our production crew in, and we utilized flowing video imagery throughout to drive home each point I'm talking about. And we put all the subtitles on it. How many of y'all think that would be something that you would like to see? Because if we look at it, I got fire over in the comments. If you're on the stage, is that something y'all like to see? If you're over on the stage, anybody want to comment on it before we wrap this room up? Do y'all think that would be needed? Anybody would think that would be needed that's up on the stage? Francois, you think that'd be needed? My brother Francois?
Yeah, I gotta come in here and give my last little words, because I need people to understand and realize when you say, you that country boy from Kentucky, right, down there at the hog farm, and you have elevated all the way to the position where, because of your willingness to invest in yourself and to learn and have these experiences, and then turn around and share it with everybody else to their benefit, you got to grasp hold of this. We talking about, man, a person that has generated billions of dollars in revenue all over the globe, has trained so many powerhouse record setters, trend setters, all these things. And he's telling you that, hey, how would y'all like for me to do a course and put it on this XPMentor platform for you to take advantage of, where you're only paying $8 for the XPMentor, and maybe he'll do the course outside of that. I don't know. But what I'm telling you is, you got to take advantage of these things when it comes up as an opportunity. And Felicia said something that tore my insides up, Coach. And you've talked about this before, but she used a word that, if you're a United States citizen or live here in the United States, that we hold dearly, that's deep down inside of us, and that's freedom. Freedom. Part of being in the United States is that you have some freedoms that you don't get in some other places. And I think sometimes, for most of us that are here, that live in the United States for the mass majority of their life or all of their life, we may take it for granted a little bit. But understand that you have the freedoms that you have because somebody made the sacrifice for it. And you got to respect that. And that's one of the things that you're going to have to understand as you get older and maturate in life, and you appreciate things a little bit more. When somebody like a Jay Noland says, hey, would y'all like me to do a course on, a mini manifestation course? Man, absolutely. Come on with it, right? Because we need these things, because when people start to understand that you're always manifesting things, you'll be more intentional about it. And then watch this. Them freedoms that we hold dear, woo, listen, you will start to understand how important they really are when you can open up your mindset, when you can understand how to harness that manifestation in the proper way, when you start to understand that all of these things, there's a price that has been paid for, and you got to respect it. So yes, we need that.
We need that. We need that. We need that. It hurt. So we got a bunch of comments. We went to 100 shares, guys. Be in the club tomorrow, because I'm going to do our final review. I already did the course. We've already done the edit. It took over a month and a half because of all the quality of roles that we had to do, because of the way I asked to do it. A big shout out to the crew, because it took over a month to do the editing just for 28 minutes. But I believe the way we did it, if you stop it, and I did it based off of the science of getting rich. I broke down Wallace D. Wattles in a way you've never heard this before. This is what Rhonda Byrne calls the secret behind the secret that inspired her to do The Secret, was the book, The Science of Getting Rich. I figured out the manifestation code inside the book, and I drop it in a mini course, and we're looking to possibly upload that to the membership tomorrow and let the XP Mentor Pro, those are the paid members, y'all get to see it first before we roll this out and figure out which ways we're going to take it out to. We believe it's going to get tens of millions of views when we release something like it on YouTube, but y'all going to get to see it first. And I love this room. It's been powerful. It's been off the charts. I want to thank everybody. Listen, we had about 1,500 people just here on the live. Everybody that was on the stream, thank you so much. Thank you again to Kirk for the awesome job that he did. As you can see, he's a beast at making sure that he provides extreme value and content. Y'all make sure to give him a follow right there. You know, he does some incredible production work for us as well, and he's done a phenomenal job today. Give Jarrett a follow, all of our moderators here a follow, and everybody here on the stage, all of our speakers that's poured in with this effort, this energy, and we lit it up today, guys. So thank you so much for being here. It's XP Mentor. We're about to sign out. We'll catch y'all tomorrow in the XP Mentor Club. On the count of three, I want y'all to do me a favor. Open up your mics and say goodbye to everybody. 1, 2, 3. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye,
Bye, everybody.
everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you.
Goodbye. We appreciate you.
All right.
Jay. Yes, sir. Jay, Kirk.